This is a regularly scheduled meeting. Oh, it's not. This is a special meeting.
It's a special.
Oh, it's a special meeting. This is Tuesday, July 22nd, 7:30 p.m. Special meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. We are first going to talk about postponements and continuations. Oh, actually, we called the meeting to order at 7:32 p.m.
There is none.
There's none?
There
That
are-
makes it nice. Okay.
No
We're just going to go in
postponements and
order.
continuations.
So the first hearing we're going to hear is going to be One Cozen Road, which is calendar number 16-2025. And this is to allow the construction of an elevator and a staircase two-story addition. Whenever you are ready, we are ready for you.
I'm ready, but the internet doesn't seem to be ready. So
I know.
I have a backup PDF that I'm going to load, so just give me 1 second.
Okay. We also have all your plans.
Okay, I think I have a bit more information here, so I'm going to
Okay.
show it here. All right, that should work. All right, so that's a PDF. Nonetheless. Good evening. My name is Mark Alex Maydeek. I'm an architect, and I am representing the property owners at One Cozen Road, and they are hoping that they will be allowed to be able to put a small addition to their house to allow for an elevator and a small staircase. I'm going to run you through a few of the points I have here. The purpose, as I just mentioned, is to request the relaxation of the side setback, technically the side setback of your R1 zone. The house actually, and I'll point this out in more detail later, but the house actually goes up to the property line. So we are actually requesting that we be allowed to build already within the footprint basically of the house and within 17 feet of the property line. And the principal point that I have are that the request is being made to increase the accessibility of the house. One of the owners is no longer able to use the stairs, and she would like to be able to use, obviously, the house on all its floors. Anyhow, won't get into that, but we're basically just asking for enough square footage to increase for the elevator and the staircase. It's an old house built in approximately 1905, predates current zoning. We are well behind the line of the existing house, so we're far away from the property line, farther away from the property line than the existing house. And we are not increasing the impervious area. We're not proposing to increase the impervious area. In other words, we're changing patio, hopefully, for this addition. And it is an irregular shaped lot, and it is adjacent to some water and also has wetlands, a flood zone on it. A little bit about the existing conditions. It's like I mentioned, it's an old house. This photograph is a bit deceiving, but the house and the garage are detached from each other. The owner bought the existing house in, I think, what was it? I think it was a couple of years ago. I think it was 2024. I think that's incorrect. Anyhow, existing conditions. This is the front of the house, and then the area where we're proposing to put the elevator is kind of this little nook, and you can see at the bottom down here. This is the patio that I'm talking about that we would love to be able to change to a two-story volume to incorporate that new elevator and staircase. And again, this is from the back, and that area is depicted roughly here, and on this elevation, it is roughly here, like this little corner. This is the survey, and I have a detail of what this looks like a little later. But you can see that it is a roughly triangular-shaped lot. The residence, which again is old and predates zoning, is very close to the water line, and the property line is the water line at this edge, which is Pound Gut. And it is towards the sort of tip of the triangle at the intersection of Coves and Cross Roads. I have some existing floor plans of the lower level. This is, I don't know how to refer to it, but it is the basement ground level. This is the level that actually leads out to the driveway right here. This is the first floor, which is the principal living floor, and then the second floor where there's bedrooms, etc. Existing elevations, which we can come back to for reference to look at, and then a zoning chart. And on the zoning chart, the element that's interesting, I think, is that between the existing and the proposed, there is no change, and that includes the side yard, which is currently 0 feet. We are not changing it, or proposing to change it, but we would like, again, to be able to build that small addition at 17 feet away from the property line. The hardships, as I mentioned, age of the lot and predates zoning. The structure currently exists within the current setbacks, and it's an old house, so I'll get into that a little further later, but we looked at some options for where we could put the elevator, but given the existing layout, the character of the house, the sort of substandard basement as it stands, it would be difficult for it to get circulation to an elevator anywhere else on the house as it stands, and I have some photographs of that as well. It is an irregular shaped lot. It's, like I said, nearly triangular. It's not actually triangular, but pretty close to triangular. And there also is some flood AE 13 zone. Actually, the whole property is in AE zone, and it's subject to coastal area management, which, if we get approval here, we are on their agenda as well for this. Our requested relief, as I mentioned earlier, is to be able to build 17 feet instead of 25 feet. It is currently, again, 0 feet from the property line. The house is on the property line in some cases. This is a blow-up of the area on the survey, and you can see what's going on. Basically, there is this little open corner, and we'd like to be able to fill that in to accommodate that elevator and staircase. These are my dimensions, so these aren't as precise as the surveyors, but these are approximate. We're looking at about 17 feet over here, 88 feet roughly to the center line of Crossroad, and 66 to the center line of Cove's End. Again, these are all already within the existing envelope of the structure. Bird's eye view, this is just to clarify. Woody, one of the comments, and I will bring this up later, one of the comments Woody expressed on my drawings was that it wasn't exactly clear what we're looking to propose, so I'm just going to drive that point home with a couple slides, and if you get bored, let me know. But this is, in this little nook here is where we're hoping to do that work, and you can see that it is obstructed almost from every direction by the garage on this side and the front of the house on the other side, so it's relatively not very visible. And again, from a pedestrian view, this is from the driveway, this is where we would like this to be, so that we could enter a door here and then get up to the elevator. The elevator actually is here, and the yellow part is a stair, and the stair would only go from the ground to first floor in order to minimize the new construction. And I can get to that here. So these two windows basically are in the staircase, and the elevator would be where the existing staircase is now. A couple floor plans that depict this a little bit further. Elevator here, new staircase wraps around. This is the driveway or ground floor or basement level, whatever we're going to call it. First floor plan, the kitchen, kind of main living area. We have to reconfigure an existing powder room, which is approximately there now, but we're tucking that elevator in, and we're going to wrap it with the elevator, with the stairs. And that stair does not come up to this floor. There's already a staircase here if anyone needs it, so we're not duplicating that. But we would like the elevator to be able to get up here so that so the homeowner could get access to the bedrooms.
Is this home FEMA compliant now? Is this home raised?
No.
It is not. So
No.
do you have an estimate on this total project?
The elevator project, like $100,000 or $80,000, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I think we're almost done. But this is the proposed elevation. So basically, this L here would be new, and this would be new. Just the kind of a final point is, given the technical nature of a elevator installation, we do need appropriate shear walls, structurally sound, that can manage the push and pull, especially on the rear wall. This would be connected, and there's just nowhere else that I can figure out how to do it on this house. And then lastly, staff gave two questions, and the first is the house sits very close to the water, and was asking about the depiction of what we were requesting on the plans. I hopefully this is a little bit beyond what you guys have in your package, but I hope this clarifies what we're actually trying to get approved, which is the addition for the stair. And then the last question was the closest neighboring house appears to be 22 Searles. Are there any potential negative effects from the proposed addition? And my response would be, I don't think so, because There already is impervious patio there. We're not increasing the impervious. It's difficult to see this from any real sort of street perspective. We don't think this affects anyone negatively in any way, shape, or form. And that's it. Thank you. That's my presentation. Any questions?
So, in terms of the standards that we need to identify under state law and local zoning, one is that there's something unusual about the property, and I guess what I heard is the irregular shape of the lot. The house was pre-existing,
right,
and you're right on the water, et cetera. But then the next step is that that unusual configuration of the property creates a hardship. And what I sort of heard was accessibility, something like that, but can you elaborate on why, if we didn't grant you this variance, that would create some unusual hardship related to the use of this property?
Well, it is, I would say, as you pointed out, related to the accessibility, and because of the topography, there is topography, the grade raises up to the house along these edges, not at the water. So that's an additional consideration. There's the topography, and that limits the ability for us to actually get any other accessible entrance to the house. And as it stands, the house is almost nearly in the setback, so there's no way to add to the house, really, realistically, without doing something in the setback. So I tried to, as I was saying, minimize that by staying away from the setback as far as I could. But given the topography, I don't see where else I could actually, given the topography and given the way the house is structured, I think that and the triangular nature of the property, I don't see.
But why do you need an elevator? Why are not stairs like everyone else has in town?
The owner can't use the stairs, so she's unable to get up the stairs. And that has changed from when she purchased the property. That was when she purchased it, she can no longer.
Okay. She wants to remain in her home.
Yes.
And the elevator's all 3 floors?
Yes.
From the full?
Yes.
Like okay.
Where are you gonna put the utilities for the elevator? You're gonna go up or down? The mechanicals?
The mechanicals would be, I believe they get housed in the shaft themselves, as far as I understand. So the unit is a relatively self-contained unit. It's the one that's proposed. I have the specs if you want me to bring
I was
this
just
up.
wondering about if there's a pit underneath it for the water, or if the power units are going to go up on top, because
When I spoke to him, he mentioned the top, that the specs, that these images don't reflect that, but he's spoken about putting it on top. There's like a kind of like a space above the staircase, like basically almost an attic, if you will,
yeah,
where that's able to go.
Can you go back to the plan view of the?
This?
Yeah. Is there any reason you couldn't push the elevator into that bedroom?
The kitchen is right here. I mean, this is, and there's foundation there that kind of prevents.
No, the other bedroom.
This bedroom here?
Yeah.
That's the door. That would still be in the setbacks. I mean, I'd still be asking for the same thing. And it is the door getting in at the ground. That's the door here getting in. So, I mean, we put it there, but it's still. I mean, then I'd be asking for 21 feet instead of 17. But I guess that would be. Actually, that's not true. I'm sorry, because I still need a door, so I'd still need the same square footage. So I'd still be there netting out kind of anyways.
One of the other criteria is minimum adjustment necessary. There's nothing oversized about this elevator. This is a one-person elevator.
Tiny,
this isn't.
Small as we could get it. I mean, with the fit, yeah, it's.
What are those dimensions say?
The pad is 36 by 32.
Okay.
I mean, that's
pretty small.
That's pretty small. Yeah, it's not even like an assistant.
I'm not sure I'd want to get it.
I don't like it. Okay.
Problem with tight spaces.
What do you have? Any questions?
I'm good.
Good. Woody?
Have you initiated the Planning and Zoning Commission application?
No, I wanted to see what happened here first.
What's up with that is they'll have to look at some of the details of the flood zone and the electrical components.
That makes-
Typically with elevators, and we've had a couple, all the equipment is fairly high up.
Should be
or
overhead.
top,
Yeah.
and you draw up. minimize stuff that could be damaged. That may end up being a requirement of P and Z.
Actually, you know what, I'm sorry, Woody, I'm not sure that's accurate. I think that there is a application already in place for the pool, and maybe the pool people have actually added this as a part of their application, but I don't have the details on that.
There was some talk about doing that.
Yes, yes.
It's okay.
Okay, good.
Good?
Good.
Is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on One Coves Lane? Okay. Anybody else? We're good? That's it. We will close the hearing. We'll deliberate tonight.
Great.
If you want to wait, or you can go and we'll fill you in tomorrow.
All right, thank you for your time, appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Okay, we have next. Okay, next we're going to deliberate, we're not going to deliberate, that's a lie. We're going to move to calendar number 17-2025. This is the application of 65 Hecker Avenue by Buy or Sell Realty, love the name, to allow the construction of one-story covered front porch and a garage overhang, second and attic story addition.
Trying to get out of your way. Give me 1 minute.
You guys want that closer?
I can see it. Got the drawings. When you're ready, you can state your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Croak. I'm the architect on the project. And Mr. Rahman, the owner of the property, is here this evening as well, in case you have any questions for him. What we're here this evening is to request an area variance to allow construction within setbacks of a second story and of a front porch and the corner of a garage, the overhangs on the garage. This is the original house that exists now is a small house. It's approximately 1,250 square foot footprint, including a finished basement. There's a fireplace in the basement. It was used as a playroom previously. Mr. Rahman was surprised when he found out that the value of the house, according to the assessor, was $144,200. So any work, he was planning on doing new kitchen, updating bathrooms and other things. We pushed him over the 50% rule, having him bring it up to code for the flood compliance. You can see from the drawings we've included, we're in the flood zone, including the river portion of the flood zone. And although it's on the edge of that zone, it does take in most of the house, approximately 60% of the house. The lot itself is a very unique lot in the street and on this area. It's a tapered lot with Hecker on the front yard portion and Friet, a small road on the left side. Friet is essentially a large driveway, but it's considered a town road or a public road. So the setbacks from the center line of that road come well into the property. Nothing can be done on this property that's not in the flood zone without a variance. What we're looking to do with the house is to create a second story. The current house is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. The new house proposed is a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath house. The 1,250 square foot first floor plus the finished basement totals up to about 2,500 square feet. The proposed renovated house with the additions is approximately 3,000 square feet plus the garage. So it's not much larger than what was there originally. We're just trying to replace the area that was lost in the basement, because that needs to be filled in and brought up, so it's no longer a usable basement to meet the flood regulations. We have an application into the Planning and Zoning Board, but they requested that we come here to your board first to apply for the variance. The existing is in the green, and we're proposing a second story above all of that except this bump out in the back. And the hatched area is the garage with a living space above it. This little singular hatched space behind it is a first floor deck. The existing garage behind the house is being removed and restored to a lawn area. You can see the orange hatching is the flood area. So any additions back on this other side, which may not require a variance, would push us into the flood zone where we would not be able to meet the 0.00 flood rise restrictions. In our package, we've included existing floor plans. As you can see, that this is the finished basement, has a fireplace down there. It was used as a playroom, and the first floor is the 3 bedrooms and the 1 bath. The attic was just an unfinished storage attic. The existing elevations, again, you see on that from the photographs, it was a modest house.
Patrick, did you guys look at just tearing this down and starting over?
It was discussed. Mr. Rahman decided to pursue this option. I think it would be, I think tearing it down and reconstructing it would put us more into the flood zone and have higher restrictions on that.
That's what I can't tell. I can't tell if it does. It looks, because the buildable area looks like it's there for you, but I can't tell on this where the flood zone hits. John, can you tell?
There's some,
It may be
I
more
have
clear.
some survey from our, whatever you call it, what we get all these documents from. It
Yeah.
looks like, I mean, I think it's all the red area here. Am I interpreting this correctly?
So the entire thing is a
Yeah.
flood zone?
The entire thing is the flood zone to right here.
All that red?
That's what I want to understand. Am I looking at, yeah. So all of this is
It
flood?
may be clearer on this photo.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So if that's the case,
But
then,
Woody, keep me honest, that's,
yeah.
I think that's correct.
So then
Okay.
you're looking at our buildable area is now this.
Correct.
It's this small triangle here,
Correct.
right? Kevin, you see this I'm looking at?
Yeah, but isn't part of that in the setback?
Right. So there is no buildable area on this lot. All the buildable area is in the
Well,
flood
they
zone.
have a zoning buildable area, but they have to accommodate the flood restrictions of lifting up the elevation, filling in the basement, flood vents. and-
Is this the zoning buildable area here?
Yes.
Yes. And then, yeah, that looks like it is.
I kind of feel like you're throwing good
But
money
they're-
after bad.
they're building in, well, this isn't deliberation, but the part of the new build is in the flood area, correct?
Yes, it is. The garage is in the flood area.
So the garage comes down, and what does the garage become?
Well,
Livable,
the-
regular livable living room,
The
whatever's
small,
on?
the small garage that's behind the house now
Gone.
comes down, is gone.
Got it.
Not
That's
being
all right.
replaced.
Okay.
The new garage is attached to the side of the house, and that's designed, we're working with Race on the 0.00 calculations. They've been doing some modeling on that, and they're actually very close on coming up with a solution on that. It's most likely going to be on piers with breakaway walls to allow the water to come through the garage The finished floor is approximately 2 feet above the base flood elevation, using the low number, about a foot above base flood elevation, using the higher number. If you look on the survey, there are two laterals.
Is the green section on your survey there, on the left-hand side, that's all existing house now?
That's the existing house, yes.
And that is at the correct elevation for flood zone?
The floor is the basement now, which is
Not the
usable.
basement, I get it, basement's going away.
Yes.
The first floor is at the correct flood elevation.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yes.
How is that? So you're saying all you have to do, I feel like you're throwing a lot of money at this project to keep this house where it is. Filling in the basement,
If you look on drawing A3, I'm sorry, A4, there are sections through the new garage floor, and it shows where the base flood elevations are.
it says 18.2 without floodway, 19.0.
But that's the garage, I'm not trying, I'm talking about the area that is existing on the left-hand side, page left of the property, right?
Yes,
That is at the correct flood elevation?
yes, it is. And this floor that's in the new garage at the back where the mudroom is level with the existing house.
And that
So
area,
yes.
sorry, Ernie, and that area is all staying and you're building on top of it? Or that's all coming down and you're building, what?
This area of the garage,
I got, that's all new, right? The
This
green
area-
area is existing first floor?
the existing first floor, and the first floor walls are remaining. The ceiling joists, which are not adequate to hold the second floor, are coming off.
Show me on this if you could. This is, right, this is the existing house. Okay, so what's John talking about? He's talking about over here?
No, he's talking about the height.
Okay, so it's already raised. It's
Does
got
look-
that,
No,
does
no.
look- does
The
look higher.
first floor is not raised, but it
Is
is of
flat- it's
adequate
at the right
height to meet the
Okay.
floodways.
right, because it's got this, all this foundation here. So you're saying that is already at the right height?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So to be clear, the
I'm not a
only
surveyor,
thing
so-
that is currently below the required flood height is the basement, the finished basement of the
Correct.
house. And that is going away?
Yes.
So,
Yes, it's being filled and raised up, so it's no longer a
Right.
basement.
so if we grant this project, there will be nothing that will be below the required flood height.
Correct.
But what about the level of the floor level of the garage? You're gonna
The
bring-
floor level of the garage is allowed to be below the flood level.
Because you're putting in vents, so you're putting in those.
We're putting in
I
flood
don't know what they
vents,
call
yes.
them, flood vents, yeah.
Yes, flood
Okay.
vents in the walls, in the doors, everything is required by FEMA and the other
Got it.
codes.
And all the mechanicals will be,
Yes, mechanicals will be up.
There's basement currently under the first floor that is at the correct elevation.
Correct.
So that's all getting, you're saving everything above the basement, but you're filling in everything below?
Yes.
And you're gonna do that without taking down the walls?
Well, they'll need to cut a hole in the wall to put a chute in and get gravel and concrete in.
Yeah, look, this is where, and we have this, I feel like this conversation every week, right?
I know.
Or every month.
I feel like you should tear this house down and move it into the proper area.
I don't,
But I don't.
But
know.
the proper area is all within the flood zone, and
but
you're
you're
doing
already
it
going in
anyway.
the flood zone and you're
You're
already
in the
bringing it
flood zone,
up, right?
yeah.
So that's not really, but I guess my initial concern with just this, without even getting into kind of the elevations with the new volume, is what always seems to happen is, oh, we're gonna fill it in, but we're not gonna take any of this down, and then the contractor gets out there or the homeowner gets a quote, and it's like, well, to work around all this existing structure, it's gonna be 30% more expensive. And like, well, then, no, we're not, we don't wanna do this, just take it down, and then you already got your approval, and it's kind of off to the races. So that's a,
no, it's been.
That's a concern.
We've had the discussion with Woody, it's been made very clear that things need to stay in place.
I guess I'm just not so sure that's the right solution for you guys. I get that you've gone down this road. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're kind of throwing some good money after bad with this.
what's the height of the ceilings in the basement? Just roughly, is it like a little 7-foot ceiling, 8-foot ceiling?
About seven,
Yeah.
7.5.
And there's a massive amount of material that
Yes,
needs to
there
come
is.
in to fill that in. I'm just very, very skeptical
Okay.
that that whole side of the house is gonna be saved. We're gonna cut a little hole in the floor and drop a ton of material down there to fill it in. It's, you can see how that would be tough,
It
right?
never works. We have no experience with you, but we have constant experience with other people telling us it's gonna work and then it doesn't. So what's the net of this? So we're putting how much volume in the setback?
I did not calculate the volume that's going in the setback. It's a second story over the existing first story.
But of the existing first story, how much of that is in the setback?
You can see on the survey and on the site plan where
It's
the
a
line is.
little more than half.
Half, okay.
Yeah.
So of the square footage, if the square footage of the house
From this
is,
corner to this corner, so half.
so 1,250 is the house, roughly half of that, so let's call it 600 square feet.
And what's the existing square footage of the house right now?
It's 1,250.
1240,
If you don't count the basement.
1241.
If you don't count the
Right,
basement.
I think I heard the basement is an additional 2,000.
The existing footprint is 1241, and we've got that in the basement as well.
But is the basement legitimate, like, property card square footage?
Is it?
Finished.
Probably not, right? It can't be. Maybe it is, I guess I shouldn't say it can't be, but
There's,
I guess I'm trying to understand if it's 1,200 feet and even if it's, the basement is, whether it's legitimate or not, or somebody just refinished it, irrelevant. Even if it's 600 square feet, that's 1,800 square feet, and this new house is, what you said, 3,000 square feet?
it's about 3, little under 3.
And this is a 16,000 square foot lot?
Okay. Did you speak with any of the neighbors about what you guys are doing?
I did not. Did you speak with any of the neighbors?
Okay.
Obviously, they all received notices. We offered in our letter, our cover letter with the notices, that they can reach out if they have any questions, and we did not hear from anyone.
Yes, yes. Okay. Kevin, do you have anything you want to say?
No, my only thing would be a caution to you, which is to say, if we approve this, I'm not sure we will, and you get out there and then we find out that the foundation's coming out or more of the structure is coming down than we approve, we will make efforts to stop that.
Yeah.
And then you will end up costing yourselves a lot more money than if you just put it into a conforming location as per zoning. Obviously, you have flood issues, we understand that.
Right,
So
right.
just want to caution you on that and to beware.
He understands, and again, Woody made it very clear in our meeting with him that was the way it needs to go.
And even if we were to approve this, this still needs to go to another board, does this have to go to planning?
Planning and
Has-
zoning.
This has to go to planning and
Planning
zoning
for flood,
also, for flood?
We're on for them for the 29th.
So no matter what, right, whether you do this, and whether you're granted a variance and do this as is, you've got to go for flood, and if you kind of rotated the house, which maybe is not ideal, you'd still have to, you have to go to planning and zoning for flood no matter what.
Right, and we're putting more house, no matter what the foundation is, pilings, whatever it is, more of those obstructions within the flood area, which raises that flood level well beyond the 0.00.
Last question.
What is
Well
that,
beyond-
sorry, I'm sorry, what does that mean? Can you explain that to me?
Race needs to, as the coastal engineer is certifying that any changes to this house, any construction, will not raise the water level during a flood more than 0.00 inches. So if it's 0.001, they're okay. Anything beyond that, they consider as multiplying and impacting things downstream.
And that impact to you is that you would have to go higher with the house? Is that the impact? What?
Have a floating house with no foundation. It's the obstructions in of the foundation that create the turbulence, create the rise in that water level. You know, Race will be at the planning and zoning meeting, and they can explain it much better than I can.
A couple more questions for me. One is, the existing garage is currently in the setback. It looks like you are going to be moving the garage out of the setback. Is that accurate?
The existing garage is coming down completely and being
Right.
removed.
Right, and in the new location, it's no longer, it will no longer be in the setback. Is that right?
Wait, so the new garage,
Correct.
I
The
thought it
new
was coming
garage
here.
is not,
Okay. And what is the rough square footage of the existing garage that's in the setback? Do you know?
I'm 250, 300 square feet, somewhere in that range.
And the front porch that you want to build in the setback?
We're maintaining the 5x8
Okay, that's my
for
question.
the front porch.
Okay, so that front porch
And that
will be fine
includes
by
all
you.
overhangs and everything.
Okay.
not enclosed, yeah.
Okay.
Is there a neighbor on the other side of Freight Court
I think there is,
over here?
unless that's highway.
There's, yes,
Couple houses over there.
Let me see if they can have the basement square footage. I'm sure they did.
they got it.
They did. Okay.
Okay.
Freight Court's got this large line of trees.
But see, that corner of the house right there, that's only 4 feet from the,
Okay. That's this corner,
So-
that's this corner right here.
yeah. And have you looked at making the second story setback to,
We looked at options for relocating that second story, coming back in this way, but then it pushes it out this way, and you end up with a similar situation back here where there are less trees. I think it's more screened in here. Plus, it's an awkward-looking house with the two-story section, and it bumps down, and then with a addition off the back.
So it's choppy. So you could add the second story and get it in the setback. but it
No,
would-
you cannot. It does not go in the setback. Because it would be back in here. It
Oh,
should be
okay.
Back in here, so it still requires a setback variance. We're gonna have to go above this, which we're not now.
Is that going away? That's not.
No, that
it
stays, but
stays.
it's staying as one story. Oh, this is a two-story here.
Okay. I think you could get a second story there. Okay. Wanna say this? Randy, anything else?
could you just summarize again the hardship points?
The hardship is the shape of the lot.
Shape of the lot.
As it tapers to a smaller section in the back, the setback on this side comes in more as you go back. Freight is a very narrow street, which pushes the 50-foot from the center back well into the property. That's through half of the existing house. The flood issues, including floodways, that's moving water. The water moves at 4.2 feet per second, as per the code here. It's just under the 5 feet, which gets us into a more restrictive flood zone. But it is still a moving river that we need to deal with.
Matt, you got one? John, you're still thinking, or you
No,
guys?
no, I'm good.
Good. Woody?
I think we should confirm what would be preserved of this existing structure. The basement, slab,
The
foundation walls.
foundation, first floor structure, first floor walls. Everything above the first floor walls would come off. The second floor ceiling, second floor floor joists or first floor ceiling joists are just 2x6s right now. They need to be upgraded to carry the second floor load. So that's new, and obviously any additions above that are new.
All of the basement all of the first floor deck structure.
Correct. The
all of
foundation,
All of the first floor walls.
right.
Okay. Then you have, the other feature is,
Sorry. So how are you preserving the first floor slab and getting, you need to fill, per the drawings, you gotta fill the existing basement up to 4 feet, raised floor to 4 feet max below bottom of floor joist. So if it's a 7 foot, so you get 3 foot across the entirety of the basement of 3/4 inch crushed stone and then a 4 inch concrete slab. I struggle with that one. That is a lot of stone. We could do the calculation on how many tons of stone it is, but, so you're cutting some portion of the first floor slab out in order to get all that material down there. You're gonna pump concrete down there, you got, somebody's gonna show up there, a building inspector or somebody, and be like, all this was supposed to stay, and
Well,
someone's gonna say, well, I took it out because I had to do all this work in the basement. It's like, well, we talked about that on July 22nd, right? Like, this is, and it's not a small hole to get all that material down there, and if it is, then it's gonna, you can come up
You
if
can
you're
come up if you wanna
the builder, you wanna come up and,
No, you have to come up, I'm
to
sorry, you have
the
to come up to the
podium,
microphone.
please.
Just state your name for the record, and then you can say whatever you want.
Sorry, there is a actually door right on the back.
Can I just need your name? Can I get your name and affiliation?
MD
please?
Rahman.
Can you say it slower?
MD Rahman. So there is actually a door right in the back, where you can actually take like a wheelbarrow or the machine, a small machine, to fill up the basement.
One wheelbarrow. at a
wait, can you
time.
show me on there, on just, you don't have to show, like, generally, it's right there.
These Bilko doors?
No, it's like an actual door, like walkout door, but a smaller size. It's not like really a full size door, but it's a small size.
Oh, I see it.
And that enters at the ground floor
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
basement?
Exactly.
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
Have you done this
I
before?
mean, it's also not, it's not, I mean,
this
it's not
kind of
shown
work, but
on
I
the
did a lot of
plans
those
either.
renovation stuff like yes, I did.
You have? You've
Yeah.
filled a basement like this before?
A small portion, a small, nothing like that big, but I did, yes.
Can we make a clarification
But-
to the board tonight? that-
But there's stairs that go up there, right?
You mean in the back?
Yeah, the door that you're talking about to bring in however many tons of crushed stone and all the concrete to pour the new 4 inch slab, you gotta go up 5 stairs, it looks like.
No,
No. I'll
That's
show you
what
the
the
door.
existing plan, that's what I'm looking at the existing plans are not
Going
accurate.
down.
Sorry, fine, you're going down 5 stairs. You're still dealing with stairs. Yeah, but it goes, that is not at the, yeah.
You're a builder, you know. No.
I'm not
No,
a residential building.
No, but you're 100% correct. It's definitely not an
It's
easy
painful,
task.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Just a question for the board. Can we make a clarification tonight?
Sure.
Where the new stair is going at the front, if we cut a hole in the foundation there and then patch that hole back in as part of the construction of the stair, is that something the board would consider a reasonable option?
I don't think John cares. I think he's just saying it's a big
Well,
fill.
I know. I don't
Is
know.
that better?
I mean,
It gets
you're
us,
still, if those stairs, you're saying from that door, it's 5 stairs down. That's what you're saying, right?
it's,
Hold on. Yeah, they're
Right,
down.
the
They're
fill-
down. At least the
Yes,
plans
the-
show they're down.
the fill, I believe the grading, if you look at the survey, the grading in that back corner is 17.6, 17.6.
What about the oil tanks that are down there? And the boiler
It's
and all
going
that
to
hot
a-
water heater, that's all getting moved somewhere else?
It's going to a heat pump system. And the condenser for the heat pump will be wall mounted on the side of the garage. Electrical panel will be on the first floor.
You still have to have a water tank, hot water tank though, and
No, we can do instant hot water, instant hot water system.
Somebody asked earlier, do you happen to know the height of the basement?
About 7 or 7.5 feet to the ceiling.
The existing basement is 7 feet above, or the existing first floor, how high above grade is that?
About 4 feet,
4 feet, okay. So it's 3 feet down, 4 feet up.
Correct.
That's all getting filled in.
3 feet down, yes.
John was saying like 3 feet of gravel, 4 feet of concrete.
Yeah, approximately.
No,
I mean,
2.5
it's gotta-
2.5
you gotta
feet of
get it
gravel
com-
and 4
you
feet
gotta
of
get it
concrete. 4
compacted, you
inches
gotta
of
get the
concrete.
machine down there and pour and.
Okay.
I don't know how you
Wow.
go
I actually
out.
don't like the idea of cutting the foundation, because the whole point of this is preserving that, right? So I don't like that. Cutting a big hole in the foundation and then patching it in just kind of makes, you know,
Well, and
That's
wow,
kind
the
of-
first floor deck structure has to stay there.
yeah, there's all kinds of issues with that, so I
The
don't
first-
like that personally.
The first floor deck structure has to stay as part of the conditions.
That's what their
The
current
form-
commitment is.
The four walls and the deck. I don't see how you can.
Do you do your own concrete work too, or no?
No, I
You'll sub that out.
sub it out.
Whoever you sub
Well,
that
just-
to is gonna love working in a little 4 foot,
Just, can I get another clarification? You're saying things have to stay. Now, the first floor walls, we're putting new windows in certain areas. So there are modifications to the openings in the walls. They're being modified, but the general structure is staying.
That's
How-
okay.
How is that different than cutting a hole in the foundation and then patching it in?
It compromises potentially the structure of the foundation.
Well, we would obviously do it in a way that doesn't compromise the structure.
Oh, no, you and everybody else say that. And then we go back and
Oh, fine.
revisit the site and, oh, the backhoe backed over it, and oh, the contractor didn't realize. Everybody says that. But then it gets compromised in the construction process. So when that happens, all of a sudden, the hardship has gone away, like the conditions that we approved have gone away. And then you're back to, well, the house doesn't belong there anymore, because the conditions we approved don't exist. So this is an ongoing issue for this board. We're supposed to bring things more into compliance.
Right.
You know, this is a chance for us to right a situation, make things safer for you, for your sake. It actually, the times we do this right, it actually helps you in the long run. It may not seem like that now, but it does. It helps the neighbors, it helps you, it helps the town, it does. It ends up saving money and time and headaches. So we're trying to be thoughtful about this, we're not trying to be difficult. We're really trying to think through what's
No,
gonna happen.
Understood.
When you go to fill this thing with 4 feet of concrete and you go, oops, and you back over that wall, you gotta come back in front of us and start over. And then the money is just mounted and the time is mounted. So we're just thinking through this. And John's, he's a construction guy.
I will
so
say
he's-
that the windows that
looking
are
at
in that setback closest to Freight Street are shown as existing. So those should not be, even on the new plans. Existing 2'10", 2'10" by 4'4" window. It looks like there is a new one page north, which is likely in an okay spot. I'm not sure, it's not drawn on there, but
So this makes you feel better about it or not better about it?
no, I'm
Oh.
just clarifying that they're not all new windows. It looks like some of them are existing to remain.
Right, well,
Which
if it's-
sounds
if it's
also-
it's
Oh,
a
I see what
window
you're
in-
saying.
In an existing opening. there'd be
Yeah,
a new
that's
window.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you're
Okay.
not modifying the opening.
And the existing windows in the foundation walls, so those can get filled in?
Yes. But those holes can be used before they're filled in to get
concrete.
material in.
Okay. Okay, anything else you guys want to
Yes,
say?
as you're 100% correct. It's a difficult job, and
Yeah.
it needs to be thought through well before they pursue anything.
I mean,
And as
we
you've said, they need
stipulate
to keep an
very
eye on
clearly
the contractors
that
to
the
make sure
walls
it's
go away.
done safely
they're
and
back here.
correctly.
I'm sorry, Randy, what?
We'd stipulate very clearly if those walls go away that they're back here.
We stipulate that all the time. You know what happens. Okay,
Got a problem with that.
all right.
Is it clear what the volume change is on the freight court end of the house?
No.
Do you have the
Not clear on
new elevation view on one of those? I saw it in the plans, but. And that left is what that's the freight side, right? That's the
Yes.
4'4" side?
Yes.
Can you just give it to me all the way, because there's a top roof line there too, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
What is the total height on this? Is this 30 feet? No more than 30?
It's less.
Less, thank you, okay.
Do you have the existing volume to compare?
Yeah, I don't have a calculation on that, the increase in volume. We were kind of guessing. I don't know.
How's the height, where's the height taken from again, Woody?
Average grade to
Yeah,
midpoint
average grade to the
between
mean height of the roof.
ridge and eave. Highest eave and ridge.
Got it, okay,
Midpoint.
so yeah, that looks pretty close. It's pretty close to 30, right?
28, yeah.
It's below, but it's, what is it, 28 and change?
18 and 17.
Is that the lines that you, what plan is that, A7?
I still don't know the volume of regulating in this space. You don't care if you're going to deny it.
No, my A7, is that A7?
No, we made some modifications on this to answer Woody's questions and some of the questions we got from consultants for the planning and zoning.
So this is it, it's 29/2. Looks like this is dated 6/14.
Right, but then we had
Updated per-
the surveyor do the average grade, and it came up a little bit from what we had assumed.
Okay.
All right, while you have that elevation up, there's a feature over the garage door that's a little bit in the front setback.
If that's an issue, we can come up with other options. We're just trying to break up that mass between the top of the doors and the bottom of the windows. It's higher than normal because of the height of the garage. But we can come up with other options if that's an issue with the setback.
Okay, you guys pay
Can
attention.
you just, and maybe the rest of the board is clear on it, and it's me, but can you explain the further hardship with the flood zone by rotating and putting the house in? I get it, it's still in the flood zone, but putting the house in the zoning buildable area, what is the further hardship versus adding the house that you're building in the flood zone right now? I'm not clear on that, and maybe you guys are, but I'm just
The more
not.
construction you put in that flood zone, the higher it raises the water, is the
Okay.
simple answer.
Okay, so is it, so what is the impact specifically to your project then? Is the impact that they say, no, you can't build this in this buildable area?
Correct. If we're above that 0.00, we cannot build it.
That's the only, you'd have to, they just make you raise it more, or they can say, no, you can't build
You
it?
can't build it. It needs to conform to that standard.
So a replacement house may have to be a little smaller, that's all. Likewise with this proposed house,
If
where
you
you're
put the
enlarging.
existing tiny house in the flood zone, you probably wouldn't meet the code.
And how is this getting around the money, the money rule?
It
Isn't there a
doesn't- No,
mo-
it doesn't, yeah, there's a 50% rule.
The
so-
50%?
That's an
That's why you
improvement
have to
rule.
get rid of the basement.
If they build from scratch,
Got
as
it.
long as
Right,
it's,
clear. Okay.
No, it's the same as if they were building from scratch as to what they're doing. They're getting rid of the basement.
And planning and
any
zoning told you to
structure
come
underneath.
here first?
Yes.
That's relatively normal with variances involved of the setback. This is so close to Freddie Court, for instance.
But Woody, I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but do you agree with that planning and zoning can tell them absolutely not, they can't even build in their
No,
buildable area?
no.
What would be, maybe you can
It's a
help
building
answer.
lot. They may have to make a smaller house to not have an impact, but they could certainly build a replacement, rotated, be more into the
No,
buildable area.
I think your question was if we have to maintain that 0.00 flood height rise. Anything, if it goes above the 0.00, it cannot be built there. Fred Denoit can,
I think we'd have to continue the hearing if you really want verification of they can't build something.
I've never heard that before.
Okay.
My understanding is that you could build, absolutely you can build, you just
Yeah, I mean, how does anybody in
Where,
any other flood
all
zone?
of Darien is in a flood zone.
Yeah,
Okay.
all in Route 5.
I think it's different.
Should we continue this and get some more information?
I-
Do you guys feel like you can make a decision on this tonight, or do you want to continue?
I think we should
I'm okay,
continue.
but
I'm sorry,
I would think we should continue it.
we should continue?
I think you need some more information from Race and those guys about what's possible and what's not possible.
Okay,
Uh,
Matt?
I have enough to make a decision, but I'm happy to continue if
Yeah,
anybody else
yeah.
wants to, or
I have
and
enough
if
to make
they
a
want to,
decision.
they might not want to. They might want us to just.
I mean,
make a
you guys,
decision.
it's a
That's
risk
up
for
to
you
them.
guys. We may not vote to pass this, and if that's the case, you have to go back to the drawing board, and this starts over.
You wanted to take a
So-
month to get more information? Or you wanted to vote tonight?
Let's vote.
Hmm?
Let's vote tonight. What do you think?
And if they turn it down, they turn it down, then you have to come back with a different design.
So what do you think we should?
That's up to you. I would think if they have more information, they can't hurt you, it would help you.
Sure.
Okay, you want to continue?
Sure.
Okay. So what you would do is work with staff to come up with some arguments for us to help it make us a little clearer on what you can and cannot build in that flood zone, and what you're actually increasing. Like, we need numbers. If we pass something, what we want to do is understand clearly what we're passing. So how much did you increase in the setback?
So
Exactly.
you're looking at volume.
Like that
Volume
drawing,
and
that
space.
drawing marked up with only the areas that are in the setback. Because that looks, if I look at that, that looks massive,
It does.
right? But
it's
not all of that is, most of that, I would think, maybe not most, I don't know, some of that at least is as of right. You don't even need to ask us for some of that. But
Right.
there's some of it that is, like, I can't,
It starts about here.
But that's what we don't understand. We need math.
I'm not sure that
It
that,
goes back on an angle.
I think it's
I think
further.
it's closer to the middle of the door there.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
it's further
And it goes
over.
diagonally to the
And,
back.
and Kevin asked a good question, like, you're getting rid of 250 square feet of garage in the back, that calculates in too, we love that, you're doing math for us,
Yeah.
so if you can lay that out more clearly, that helps. And I would really want to understand, I mean, John's a builder, and I think he's trying to understand, how are you actually going to get that foundation in there? I think all of us are very skeptical that that can be done without literally destroying the foundation.
talk to
You
his masons
do
and
this,
he'll-
right? You know how much a 4-inch slab costs in Darien. But when the concrete guy goes there and sees, oh, by the way, I've got 4 foot of headroom and I've got to compact all this stone and get all the stone in, that number might be a real change in the number. And I wouldn't want to see that upcharge, right? So
It may actually
portion
be
of
better
work
for
is a
you
lot of work.
to jettison this plan and do something else. We'll let you decide, but I think we need more information to make the right decision for you. That's all we're kind of saying. I think that's where we're going. We're not deliberating here right now, but
Providing direction.
I'm reading the room. We're providing direction, yes. Okay? Okay, so we're going to,
We'll continue to September, I'm not sure what the
Oh,
date
yeah,
is.
there's
It'd be September.
16th, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay? You're good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to continue this hearing to September.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, next up, we're going to calendar number 18-2025. This is 17 Patricia Lane. This is Mark and Kristen Slawinski to allow the construction of a 2-story addition. Mr. Gleason presenting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Haven't seen you in a while.
It's been a while.
And I know you like to keep it tight. I know this is an 8-minute presentation, right?
Well, the way you handled the last one, I can say,
Are you ready?
It's gotta be quicker than that, right?
Uh-oh, he's ready.
I just want to give you everything that I think you're going to need.
Thank you.
So,
Hey Wilder, I think maybe for point of order, we gotta hit this first. I think we have a setback problem. Because your application requested 6.7, but the way the addition would extend, it's actually 6.4 feet to that left side property line in the back.
Wait a second.
This is Patricia.
This is Patricia. 17 Patricia Lane.
The existing house is 6.7.
Right.
Something's up with the angle, I guess, of the house.
You might be looking at an old version of the survey.
I mean, for whatever it's worth, we can only approve what
we've
you asked for, so.
We asked for 6.7.
Right. So if that's what it is, then fine, but if it ends up that it's 6.4, we can't
Then we're
approve
gonna
that.
have a problem, but let me just. It keeps tweaking out.
Initially, the surveyor had put 6.4 just to ask for some additional.
You know, that's what happened.
Okay.
The surveyor said, we always ask for a skosh more. So they went from 6.7 down to 6.4, when it's actually 6.7. We told them, keep it at 6.7.
Okay.
Mark refreshes, this is Mark Slawinski and Kristen, the applicants.
Got it.
Okay.
It
So
looks
we
like,
have-
yeah, it looks like there's a weak wire or something. What is it, Kristen?
So Wilder, does that mean we have an inaccurate survey?
The surveyor, on his own, reduced the setback to 6.4, and that's what they initially submitted when they discussed it with you. And then we told them to keep it at 6.7, because there's no way we would go from 6.7 to 6.4 under any circumstances. And that's what the actual number is, Woody.
Okay.
Okay?
Says redness and mead, so.
That's not the survey that was submitted
What's
with
the
the
date, what's the
application.
date on that one?
If you need, I'm happy to get a statement from the surveyor to that effect, but we had that discussion with Redness and Mead.
Okay. Yeah, why is this glitching out?
Um,
I don't think it's you, I think it's us.
I have a different.
I'm sorry.
HDMA.
No, it keeps blanking out. You either get it and then it,
We're to 6.4.
Try this.
Don't, it's on,
Do we need
it's
to
on the
worry about
staff,
this? 6.4
it's on the
versus 6.7?
staff.
so it doesn't,
Yeah, I mean, the one I'm looking at shows 6.7.
The one that Woody marked up for us shows 6.4, but it looks like the date
But the
of the,
one-
the date of the
what's the date
survey
on
is
that?
cut off. The date of the
The
survey is
one that
cut
I'm
off.
looking at in their latest application is dated June 10th, 2025.
Yeah, 610 is.
And that shows
yeah,
6.7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay?
We submitted one that was 6.7.
on
and-
610, that's the
Well,
one.
I don't remember
Okay.
the date of it, but when we submitted,
Drawing date is 6.5.
yeah.
So this one is superseded, is that what you're saying?
Correct. That has been revised
Okay.
to actually state what it was as opposed to what the surveyor thought we wanted to ask, which we didn't ask him to do.
All right, go ahead, state your name for the record. We'll see what's going on. We all know who you are, but let's, yeah, okay.
Good thing.
Well, the good news is we all have this in front of
All right,
us.
I'm really glad I did the hard copies.
Yes,
So-
we have it. Oh, yeah,
And Mark, you have the more detailed plans. You may want to get those. Okay, so first of all, Kristen and Mark Slawinski,
State your name, sorry.
Wilder
She knows.
Gleason.
You got it?
Gleason and Associates,
Thank you.
for
Okay.
the record. Mark and Kristen have lived in Darien since COVID, early COVID. It's been 5 years. They came here with one baby, they added a new one, and they have a small house. It's about a little under 1,600 square feet. I think it's 1,596. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 up on the second floor, and 1 on the first floor. Their growing family needs, and Kristen works from home. So she's occupying the bedroom on the first floor. They need additional room for their growing family. And if you look at the first slide, it shows a Google Earth photo with their house pinpointed, 17 Patricia Lane. And you'll see it's a narrow lot. It's 58 feet wide. It's supposed to be 80 because the zoning has been upgraded, as the application stated. These lots were created by a map recorded in 1940. And in 1952 was upgraded. In 1957, they created legal nonconformities as to the minimum square. 1957, that was the precursor of what is now Section 334. And the setbacks were no longer compliant as of 1950. The lot didn't meet area or width requirements as of 52. The house wasn't constructed until 1963, and that was after they went and got a variance. So if you turn to slide 2, I'll walk you through it. That's the zoning location survey. And there's a small it's just after the initial picture. Yeah, if you've got a bigger one, you may want to look at that.
No, that's the last.
That's the wrong one?
That's the last guy.
Okay. So the house, they got a variance for 10 feet in 1960 from the northern property line. And then it turns out, according to our survey, it was actually built 6.7 feet from the northern property line. That was in 1963. It's been that way for 50-plus years. And that 6.7-foot setback is legally non-conforming under Section 384 of your regulations, because once a zoning violation exists for 3 years, it goes away. It's now legally non-conforming. It's been that way, and what they're proposing to do is to extend a small addition out the back, which will be 2 stories for a portion of it, but the second story will actually overhang and create a sort of a covered porch area in the back. So you'll see a fairly solid line coming down in this survey that is about 2/3 of the way of the gray addition. If you pull that, it's the second slide after the overhead. Yeah, you've got it, Randy. So now I want to point out that there's a dormer in the front. And when the plans were initially discussed with Woody, that dormer in the front didn't meet setbacks. It has been moved based on Woody's recommendation, so that front dormer complies. We're not asking for a variance for that, because asking for that would not be the minimum necessary. So what we're asking for is a variance to keep a 3.3-foot extension of this addition along the north property line. And the total square footage that we're adding, and the configuration is basically 2 stories on the immediate part behind the residence, and then you'll see a solid line, and there's and that is where the first floor addition ends, and you have a second floor overhang. Does that make sense? It's hard to point out, but it's yeah. If you've got it here, I'll just. You got it. All right. So everyone's got that. In terms of what I'm proposing.
So you're saying in total it runs 3, so it's 3.5 feet times.
3.5 feet times.
How long?
The length, I'm not sure, but it's, we're adding 165 square feet of buildable area. And I want to point out 2 other things. The survey shows an HVAC compressor on the north side of the residence right now. And there's also a shed behind the garage. The garage doesn't meet setbacks, and it was blessed with a variance. And the shed we don't think is properly permitted. So we have 2 things that are not legal. The HVAC compressor and the shed. And the HVAC compressor will be relocated to near the driveway, and the shed is going away. So we're removing some nonconformities. The addition is 70 feet from the rear property line, a little over 70 feet. We have a narrow 58-foot wide by really deep, 152 feet, but only 0.21 acres, and we're in a residential 1/3 acre zone. So we have a grossly undersized lot because of upzoning in the 50s. And whatever we do, we're supposed to be putting an addition within a square equal to 80 feet under the regulations. That's the minimum width in a residential 1/3 acre zone. So you can't add to this house without getting a variance.
Why can't it be shifted?
Well,
The addition is
you
not
know-
the size of the residence. Why can't it just be shifted 3.5 feet page down?
you know, it might be conceivable to do that, but the efficiency of the design gets lost considerably. And you wind up, instead of having an expanded cape, you're going to wind up with a 3rd floor. And we have a neighbor on the north side who
What
is
does
this,
that, what does that mean, wind up with a 3rd floor?
because you're going to have to put, to get the same usable square footage, there's jogs in the rooms. A room that has a big 3.5-foot jog in it is not nearly as conducive to efficient use as something else, something that's uniform. And so there's also topography. We have an 8-foot grade from the northeast corner to the southwest corner, and drainage all flows basically from that northeast corner to the southwest corner. It's a greater than 5% grade, which is fairly steep. It's not level. And shifting it closer to the garage means that you would have to have a wall and steps to get from the driveway up to the 1st floor. And it narrows considerably the space between the garage and the addition, which makes for a lot of difficulty in terms of accessing it. You're going to have stairways, and it limits, I mean, if you've got a baby stroller, you're now going to have to go down steps instead of a walkway. And I would add that the northerly neighbor has essentially acquiesced already to the granting of the variance. And we have a letter on file that shows that. And that letter is one of my slides. It would be, it says North Neighbors Letter 6/19/25. It's the 2nd or 3rd from last slide. That's the second from last sheet. North Neighbors Letter of 6/19/25.
Walter, I do really want to drill down on this shifting issue, because this is the biggest question we have. If
Okay.
you shifted this house closer to the neighbor on the left, which would bring it more into compliance, we got to put this issue to rest, because that is the biggest issue on the table. Then everybody's happy. It comes
I
in-
still have to get a variance of the minimum square.
I don't- Yeah,
Absolutely. I come before you for
What is
that.
It's just a substandard lot width.
because the front
lot
is
width is-
under 80.
Oh, right, but you would be coming for us and saying, I'm only here because my lot is undersized, I'm not impeding any, and it would be literally a 7-minute between you giving your presentation
Right.
and us delivering.
yeah.
It would be like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, it would be 5 minutes, it'd be a layout.
Yeah.
But this one, we're sitting here with, there's real difficulties in the design in terms of the impact on the neighbor, and the design is likely to result in a 3rd story.
I can't tell that from the design. I can't
I don't
see it.
understand why
Yeah, I
you're
don't
saying that.
understand.
You're basically saying, if the board doesn't like this, they're gonna go back to the drawing board and they're gonna add another story on top of it to get what they want.
That's the only
Well,
way to get.
That's
may-
is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say that's the only way.
You've said 3rd story like 3 times now, is that like?
So what we're trying to figure out is like, is this the only option for you? I mean, that's the case we're trying to make to us, because if this house can be shifted and we can get you away from the neighbors on the right.
addition.
The addition, I'm sorry, the addition. Yeah, that kind of solves all problems for us.
Yeah,
You may, come up, Kristen,
Come on,
yes,
Kristen.
yes. I know you may not like this, but I want you to tell us why it doesn't work. Okay. State your name for the record.
My name is Kristen Slowinski. I live at 17 Patricia with my husband, Mark. We have thought about shifting it, and I think what Wilder was trying to say was that you lose the usable efficiency of the interior of the home, because I have the pictures up in front of me, but if you look at the layout of the first floor, the northeast bedroom, that is an office bedroom right now, that is where the addition would come off of. If we would shift it over, you'd have like a 3-foot jog, and like a 3-foot jog off of a 10-foot room that then becomes
7
like
feet.
a narrow 7-foot, like.
I don't think that's what we're suggesting. We're suggesting to move the whole
Yeah.
10-foot over 3 feet or
Well,
3.5
that's what-
feet.
But if you look
To
at
do
that-
that, you've got a 10-foot bedroom wide that extends back. If you shift that and say, okay, we're gonna take the addition that makes it from a 10 by, well, you're adding to it to make it a little more usable than the 10 feet. Mark, maybe you better do this, because I'm not as familiar with the actual plans.
Come on up, Mark, and I know it doesn't help to not have the drawings up here.
Slawinski, setback.
We do have
Yeah.
the drawings here, don't we?
Yeah, maybe we can open up the bigger
Can I
drawing
see
set.
those?
Yeah.
Can I see those? Would you mind?
Am I going there?
Because we don't have any, I don't think we have any of this, do we?
Yeah, we
That was
do.
all uploaded.
We have
You
that,
have-
yes, it's in the system.
We uploaded the existing, we uploaded the proposed,
Yeah.
and we uploaded the shifted plan,
Yeah,
okay? I just don't have them in this presentation.
Okay.
So I think
Can you talk about, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I think the interior uses was one part of it. The second was the distance between the current existing garage and what would then be the shifted addition. Having that space and addressing that 3 to 4 foot grading to get to that back step. We would have to put a retaining wall, we would have to put steps. Getting a lawnmower to the backyard is also, from the backyard to the front yard is another, like,
Yeah,
difficulty,
accessing the
access.
backyard is a consideration. From the driveway, I believe the driveway to the first floor is about 5-foot change in elevation. So to get, if you shift that 3.5 feet or 3.3 feet closer to the garage, the space between the garage and the addition was very reduced. And you can see there's, not on this plan, but on the site plan, it shows an existing retaining wall. That retaining wall would most likely have to extend over to the garage in order to allow for steps to maintain an acceptable slope to get to the patio entry of the patio.
it's hard to see. I want to believe you and take you on your word. I'm just not sure what I'm looking at.
Well, there's 14 feet there, right, between
As it's
between the
proposed.
garage driveway and your existing proposed addition. There's 14 feet, right?
So if you
And
go
at
over
14
4.
feet, you have a retaining wall, a planter, and some steps,
Okay.
right?
It's, it's not annotated on here, but I think you're
Yeah, that's what it
roughly
is.
speaking. So, yeah, 14 feet to the addition, and there's a 3-foot patio to walk into the entry door. So 11 feet from the driveway to the entry.
And that means there's a driveway that's 10 feet? The driveway is 10 feet then?
No, there's space between the driveway and the
Space.
proposed addition of 14 feet. And the question is, why not make that 11,
Right.
10 or something? And
Well,
conform to
then
the
that points you would lose the patio, or the retaining wall, or where the AC units are
The
gonna be.
mechanicals.
Right, if you move that over here, then you're losing either that, or the retaining wall needs to stay, or the location of the mechanicals. Yeah,
do something. in there.
and you lose the efficiency of having a straight line in the house,
Yeah, I
which is
think
what they're
that's,
showing there.
that's the other thing too, again, like calling out the grading from the northeast
Yeah.
corner to the southeast. shifting that 3 feet would then have this awkward void on the north side of our house.
Like where this living room is proposed
drainage.
here, you would shift this part over there.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't tell. So, okay, so you're cutting into like the kitchen, you're
Yeah,
cutting into
well, no, it's the
areas.
living, on the ground floor, you'd be cutting into what they have as a living room, like it would be over here. And then on the second floor, you're cutting into what would be this closet area over there. Push over that way.
There's also drainage issues that shifting it would cause. Having a straight line along the north makes it, the water flows from north to south and east to west. And the neighbor on the north side is concerned about drainage. We don't want to create a block with the shifting the addition. Now, you might be able to grade a little bit, but it's more natural if you have the swale close to the foundation. And that, to me, militates keeping the setback the way it is. And particularly when the northerly neighbor is essentially saying in their letter, which you have a copy of, we're okay with it, we just want to make sure there's not going to be a drainage problem. And our engineer's letter, which you have a copy of in the presentation, basically says that the last page, the last paragraph on page 2, flip it over, there won't be a problem. We're not going to change the grades, we're going to keep it the same. There's a slight swale that conveys the water along the north property line, north foundation wall, to the front. And it all migrates down to the southwest corner at Patricia Lane.
Mr. Chairman, we did receive a letter yesterday.
Yes, an updated neighbor
I
letter.
think it might be worth reading, because you probably
I haven't
have.
seen it. Has it been posted?
Maybe you could read this.
So this is dated July 21st. This is from Marianne Morgan and Jean Kelly at 15 Patricia Lane. This is addressed to Mark and Kristen Slinsky about, well, it's regarding their home addition. As a follow-up to our letter of June 19th, after careful consideration, we would like to add that we hope the town and the above-stated owners of 17 Patricia Lane would act in good faith. And if there are any options of the already submitted addition plans, that the proposed addition be constructed in a way that would be as unobtrusive as possible on our property at 15 Patricia Lane. Also, as both number 15 and number 17 have had a history of flooding in our basements, and the proposed plans indicate they will be extending the basement, it is extremely important that drainage of the groundwater be addressed. Thank you, Marianne Morgan and Jean Kelly. Is the basement being extended as part of this?
There's a proposed section beneath the added first floor for a basement to get a storage space in order to have the Bilco door be relocated to come up underneath the deck.
Okay.
Is that finished basement? It just says proposed basement. Is that going to be a finished space?
No, it's not proposed to be finished.
Okay.
But how would that not impact, just like in a practical way, how would that not impact draining and drainage generally and the flow of water, notwithstanding what this letter says that they don't think it will?
Our engineer has looked at the topography of the area and said that the water flows from the northeast corner to the southeast corner, and that he doesn't anticipate any problem. And we're happy to address it. This is, we have sheet flow, and there's no adverse impact on neighbors, is what he's basically saying.
And just to call out, 15 Patricia is at a higher elevation than 17 Patricia. So, like,
Their
the
water
water
comes
would
to
come
us.
to us. And that has happened before, when we first moved in 2021. Like, that comes down towards us. So, like, again, having that void is kind of the issue. Like, that's where the water goes. And having that northern wall of our house be a straight line, again, allows for the water to kind of drain down towards the road where the drainage is, I think down at 21 Patricia.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's in the set, but the architectural plans do indicate a foundation wall drainage, corrugated pipe to redirect the water.
There's a note in the architect's plan that I think triggered the concern of the northerly neighbor about drainage. Because it said grading in the first 10 feet from the foundation will direct water away from the foundation wall. That's a standard architect's note. That's superseded by our drainage engineer who said, we are going to maintain the swale along the north property line so that there's no change in drainage patterns. And since the northern property is higher, water flows from them to us, and we will then have that swale that directs the water to the front.
When it gets to the front, it goes right across the street.
No, it actually drains down to the south. There is a drainage right in front of 21 Patricia, 2 doors down. That's where it would, all the water drains to.
There's a catch basin.
Catch basin, yes.
And I think there's a crown in Patricia that.
Yeah, there's a catch basin on either.
I only know that because our street flooded in 2021, and it was flooding in front of 21 Patricia.
Well, the middle of the street where you guys are is a little higher than like the exits from the street, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of like a little,
Yeah.
not much,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
Well,
This letter, so from Readiness to Meet, they're basically saying that since the increase is less than 1,000 feet, we're really not required to do any separate review and approval. And then further down, it talks about the manual allows for stormwater exemptions in certain cases, most notably for projects resulting in increase of coverage less than 400 square feet. What does that mean? Does that mean this is actually exempt because it's
We
less
are
than?
exempt from providing under section 880 what is called a storm management plan.
Okay,
The storm management plan is wipe out everything that you've got, treat it as a fresh green grass site.
okay,
And now detain on site every
Start
drop
over.
of water that you have on site in a 50-year storm, which is 7 inches of water in 24 hours. So we're gonna have to house 7 inches of water if we had to do a storm management plan. We're exempt, and what's happened is he says the drainage pattern will not change, and there's no adverse impact on neighbors from what we're proposing.
Okay,
And
but
that's all that we need.
But there's no proposed new drainage. right?
We're not
No
proposing
infiltrators.
something. We
You're
did-
increasing the footprint, you're increasing,
We're increasing
Impervious surface.
impervious surface by 165
Yeah.
square feet. 165. And that's pretty de minimis. But if Hervé, and I've had a conversation with him, if Hervé wanted us to put some drainage in, we'd be more than happy to put some Coltex in to address the 165 square feet of additional impervious surface. And if you want to stipulate that that occur as a condition in light of the neighbor's concerns, we'd be more than happy to exceed the drainage from that, so that there's an absolute zero increase in runoff. I mean, if you want to say it's 250 feet or something like that, to say you've done something for the northern neighbor, that's not a
I
problem.
kind of like that.
I mean, you know.
I do, because we've
Yeah.
got neighbors who are concerned about
Well,
this, I
and
do.
Let's make it 300 cubic.
Okay.
You know, because it's 165, we'll double it, and that.
It helps you guys too. I mean, if there's
Yeah, and it
water
helps us
issues
in
there
terms of
anyway.
dealing them. And Mark.
This town's only getting wetter.
Yeah, I honestly thought that they put that, because we had previously spoken about doing that anyways.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's a good compromise. So, okay, so we're,
I
go
got one
ahead,
other
keep
thing.
going, go ahead.
On the first floor, are these walls along your neighbor also all new? They show new on the plans.
All the walls?
The red, we need the,
I'll-
you have the.
This looks like,
On the side that's expanding?
this looks like all,
So,
so is this the line right here of the existing house? Is that what this red
yes,
line
that
indicates?
red line is.
So that's on
what's
the,
current, Yep.
got it. And then you're just doing an
Red doesn't
interior
mean,
wall.
okay, give it back to Woody.
Neighbors, the
I
neighbors.
got it, I got
The new
it.
neighbor letter, Woody, that just came
I
out.
only have the one copy, so I
Yeah.
can give it to you.
This
Make a
red
copy for
line,
sure.
is that
Where is the
outline
neighbor
of
letter? Does anyone have that?
The one I just
Yeah.
read, he has it, there's only one
Could I-
copy.
Could I see it? I'd like.
Yeah, you can see it. I just have to copy it for you if you want a
Take a-
copy.
Take a picture of it.
Yeah, welcome to it.
Well, I just would like to read it right now if I can. Happy to
Or if
get
it's
it right
right
here.
here.
You want to see it? I want to see it.
I mean, just to add, just a silent void. I did, again, we've lived on Patricia Lane for five years. I've gotten to know a lot of our neighbors in doing this. Like, we know that we want to live on this street, like this is our forever home. And we've spoken to the majority of our street. There are 20 houses on Patricia Lane. We've gotten everyone but 2 or 3 homes to sign a no objection petition. It's
Actually, let me address that. That's great, but actually how do I say it? You're actually not supposed to solicit any feedback except for direct neighbors when you're doing a project like this, because it's kind of like winning a popularity contest.
Mm-hmm.
You can solicit it, but it's not even relevant. What is really relevant is the 2 neighbors directly on either side. And I have to tell you, you guys did a great job. They struggled with this. They really want to support you guys doing what you want to do, but they are concerned about the water.
Yep.
And they're concerned for you guys too. In the correspondence, it mentions you guys. This is a town that's just getting wetter. So they're trying to say, look, we got one shot at this. If you guys are going to do some work, let's all do it the right way. And they're trying to flag us to it to get us to catch it in the work. That's all. They haven't been disparaging about you. They're not trying to discourage you at all. So thank you. I get that you did your job in soliciting the neighbor comments and it worked. That's what we want here. Honestly, if you'd come in front of us without soliciting, hadn't gotten the neighbor feedback, we'd be even less likely to move forward with this, because we'd say, well, wait a minute, what do the neighbors think of this thing? That's very important. Our whole job is to get things more compliant, more acceptable to the neighbors, and that's what you're doing right now. So this is good. Okay, so the net effect of this is we're losing a shed that was non-compliant.
Right.
The dormer you were gonna add, you got rid of it.
Well, it's in a compliant.
It was
location.
compliant anyways.
We moved it, so it's compliant.
Okay, got it.
That's as of right.
As of right, okay.
And 87% of what we're proposing to add meets setbacks. 13% of what we're doing
Okay,
does not, and that's on a footprint basis.
okay,
13% of our footprint is non-compliant. That's the 3.3%.
okay, so
3.3
13,
feet.
so if I'm looking at this, we're talking about 13% that doesn't meet
Yep.
compliance, and you're willing to do additional drainage
Whatever you skip in terms of square,
to make the neighbors
Well,
happy.
let's clarify that. So if you're adding 165 square feet of coverage, if our growing policy was you have to do 2 times that amount,
Not a
that's
problem.
330, but how would we describe it? It's
Cubic?
call text to address an additional 330 square feet of coverage.
Impervious surface.
Okay,
I think and I suspect Mark may do beyond that.
Mark, I would.
He started at 2. Can I ask, what's the dimension of the, sorry to cut you off, what's the dimension of the shed that's in the back?
Yeah,
Just, we can take a ballpark on this one.
I
I mean, the garage
10 by
looks
10,
like
10 by
it's.
12.
It's not 10 by 10, it's maybe 8 by 8
okay.
by 10.
So you got
It
64
actually
square
looks
feet
like,
of that?
on the survey, it actually looks like it might be 10 in the garage,
Yeah.
but whatever,
Okay.
so it's like 60, it's like 65 square feet.
Okay, so they're moving the mechanicals, they're coming more compliant with mechanicals. The shed, the dormer is in a compliant space, and
We're
they're,
removing the shed,
got it.
which is non-compliant.
Thank you, we like that.
Yes, I know you like that.
Love that. It's like you've
Gotta show
been
you
in
something.
front of us before. Okay,
What about the neighbors across the street?
Yes, Amy Pinchback. I've spoken to her already. She was actually going to come tonight, but unfortunately she had family things to attend to. She has no problem. She actually, again, I
She
think.
wrote a letter, right?
She did write
It's
a
in the-
letter,
yeah, it's in the
yes,
file.
a letter of support.
Okay. Because one of those driveways goes down.
Yep, that is
That's
her
her
biggest
driveway.
concern, and we talked about it. So I think flooding is a question for all of us. Like, I have another neighbor here, she dealt with the same thing. That's, flooding on Patricia Lane was always the question.
I'm getting to you next. I'm about to say, are there any neighbors? Okay.
Sorry, we might have said this. What's the current square foot of the house and the new proposed with this plan?
According to the assessor, it's 1596,
Yep.
and we're adding 838 square feet.
I think it's 848,
848, so we're at, I think,
2444.
yeah, 2444. Correct.
Thank you,
Got it.
Kevin.
Okay.
All right.
That's in one of my slides.
All right, we may call you back up. Are there any neighbors that wish to be heard on this application? Okay.
I'm just here to be the support.
If you could come up, please, and what you're going to do is come up, state your name, and then you can say what you want. Thank you.
Cool. I'll be short and sweet. I'm Jackie Byrne. I live at 19 Patricia, so I'm on the other side of the Slawinskys, and I've seen their plans. I am supportive. I think it's consistent with the rest of the houses in the neighborhood, and obviously just supportive of them being able to stay on Patricia Lane with their growing family, kind of hoping that our kids can grow up together, and yeah, I hope that you guys will grant their variance.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah,
I'm
of
sorry,
course.
it's been a long night.
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
has, okay.
Okay, thank you. Sir, come on up.
Good evening. So, my name is Charles Jansen. Thank you, Chair. I live at 22 Patricia Lane. I've circled this on this sheet, which is the inside corner of Patricia Lane. And I've been there since 1988 with my family. We were the youngest people on the street when we moved in. That was 37 years ago. There were no kids. So a lot's happened on Patricia Lane. And I'm not here to say or to disparage at all what's happened. I'm here to speak about this variance request and how modest it is and how sensible it is from a neighborhood character point of view for the entire street by lessening development impact and keeping, as the neighbors to the north would like, to have, no real change in the appearance from the street. And what's the simplest way to do it that I've thought of from driving by there is to grant the variance, because otherwise you're changing the entire site orientation of the property. I'll state this very quickly and leave it for your consideration. So I know it's a modest request because Kristen and Mark came to visit us when they were thinking about what it was they were proposing, which is quite unusual. There's been a lot that's happened on that street. This is one of the narrowest lots on a street. And if you look at this from let's just say a bird's eye point of view, look at all the amenities that are behind these homes and what exist. And this is a very unique lot on the street. It's a very unique condition of the property that makes it different from many others. So, they may be diagonal to us. They may not be our direct neighbors. I would actually like to submit this sheet to the board just with the circle on it that shows where our home is. But, a lot's changed. Our children were up and out of the house in 2015. That's pre-COVID. And since COVID, and the Slawinskys moved in 2021, bedrooms becoming home offices, yeah, that's fine. But now it's almost a way of life with regard to every home. And I would submit that many of the homes in this neighborhood that are on much bigger sites have these amenities. And I'm convinced from speaking with them that they've worked hard to lessen the impacts compared to what I've seen happen over the years, lessen the impacts for the northerly neighbor, who also in their letter, which I had not seen before, talks about the outward appearance of this home. And I do believe that when you have a small site and you're trying to squeeze more onto it and move a piece further inside or to the south of that northerly line, where do you get the space? And it's not a threat, and it's not an either or, but it's the reality of a consideration that's been foregone here. So I'll keep this short. This is probably one of the most modest and restrained and, shall we say, sensibly presented variance requests to this board that you've seen in quite a while. It's come together with a lot of foresight. In my sense, it's within your powers to grant a variance where there is a minimum adjustment necessary for a home to allow here a combination of not a separate home office downstairs, but a home office bedroom and 3 bedrooms above. That's not 3 stories. So what's my sense? Whatever happens on Patricia Lane is going to happen with regard to people building out to the absolute maximum. In fact, a house directly across from my street, I came to speak once as a neighbor for some neighbors, and I heard the applicant's architect say, "Yep, I squeezed everything I possibly could into this house, down to the last square inch." That's not what we have here. This is a very modest request. So it says Attorney Gleason Wilder, whom I've known for many years, okay? It allows a sensible application of the present site and house construction to remain with the least impact. It's consistent with neighbor support to the north, the property most impacted, and it's consistent with my view of what I've seen happen on the street for a little bit of time, okay? What did I say, 37 years? How's that possible, I say? How could I possibly be standing in front of a zoning board of appeals and say, when I moved to this street, my wife and I were the youngest people on the street. There were no children on the street. The first year, we got 1 Halloween trick-or-treater with a Richard Nixon mask, okay? Well, you know what's happened to the families that are there. So now the irony is, we're the longest residents on this unique horseshoe-shaped street. And Katie and Mark, since they moved in 2021, have done a lot to show their care for the neighborhood too. So I'm not going to push the envelope too far, but what I'm going to say is that since COVID in 2021, they've maintained an annual pre-summer block party for family and children's. And that's how I found out what exactly my unique status is for having been maybe a slug for all these years and staying put. So I think, in conclusion, if ever there was a simple, modest request that you have the power to vary without strictly applying the rules, maybe this is one. I would hopefully ask that you consider it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. How do you top that? Is there anybody else that wants to talk?
I have a tear in my eye.
I'm gonna cry. That's lovely. Anybody else on this application? Okay, anybody else from the board? Nope. Okay, we're gonna close this hearing. We'll deliberate shortly. Thank you. Thank you, Wilder. Okay, moving on. We're gonna do the Shell Station, which is officially calendar number 19-2025. This is Standard Realty LLC, Nadeem Khalid, to allow the construction of the convenience store and replacement motor vehicle service station canopy at 805 Boston Post Road, right next to Starbucks.
They used to sell gas for 25 cents a gallon.
What? Oh. You guys have been waiting so patiently. And the poor people for 13 Hollow Tree Ridge, I'm sorry. We're going to try and move it. I mean, speed it up.
Madam Chairlady, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, my name is Michael Kikase. I'm an attorney with the firm of Kikase, Stush, and Santagata, and I'm here this evening to represent Standard Realty, Inc., or Standard Realty, LLC. I'm here to support application 19-2025, which seeks several variances to do a complete renovation and makeover of the existing Shell service station located at 805 Boston Post Road. It's in the CBD commercial zone. It's on the north side of the Boston Post Road and the west side of Sedgwick Avenue. The material that was submitted by the team for Standard Realty predates my engagement, and I think I'd just like to clarify some of the record and, with the assistance of the existing survey, go over what exists on the site right now. There's an existing building on the site that was built in 1953 and is, quite honestly, tired and in need of renovations. It's a parcel that is less than half an acre. It's 0.4343 acres. In addition to the main building, which is the service station, that building, the main building, is 2,730 square feet on the site. And there's a storage building at the rear of the property. So you have the main building existing. Here. And you have an existing garage in the back. The existing garage is an additional 1,020 square feet, so that on the site right now, there's 3,750 square feet of building area. The storage building, which is at the rear or northerly portion of the property, is between 2 and 3 feet from the rear property line as it exists. So it's certainly within the setback area that exists back there now. And I want to point out that on the site, and even in the picture that Woody attached to his report to the Zoning Board of Appeals, you can see there are existing 3 pumps. It's not 2 pumps as was shown and indicated on some of the plans. The canopy that's there is now 816 square feet. And it's noteworthy that the district to the north of the parcel, although it is a residential zoning district, it is owned by the Frontier Communications Corporation, and they have a building there that's used for commercial purposes, and quite honestly, it will be continue to be used that way into the foreseeable future, which has an impact in terms of evaluating how this lot is configured. I think the impetus for the proposal that's before you and the intent to remodel is that the operator who is there now is about to exit. And there will be a new operator, and it's an opportunity to create what honestly will be an aesthetically much more pleasing construction on the site. It will be safer, it will enhance mobility on the site, etc. The proposal is to have one building of 2,800 square feet, which obviously is a reduction in the square footage of the 2 buildings that exist there now. And it's also a reduction, as shown on the plans, on the coverage of the buildings. It will contain, or the building that is being proposed would be 15 feet from the rear property line. And the site, as proposed, would have 16 parking spaces, and it's required to have 14. It would continue to have 3 pumps, and it would have a canopy of 1,621 square feet.
So
However,
the existing canopy is what size again?
816.
Right.
So you're doubling the canopy.
But it's still less than, the increase in the canopy is less than the amount being taken away with the 2 main buildings. The square footage in terms of overall coverage to the site is being reduced modestly.
And the number of pumps is not increasing.
Correct.
I mean, right now there's 3, but you can't use 3. You can really only use 2. It's terrible.
Well, the 3 on a small island, you're
Yeah.
right, you can't park 3 cars on either side, that's
Okay.
correct.
They reoriented them though.
Oh, they have? I don't go there anymore because it's terrible.
Yeah, they reoriented them, which I think is,
So, and I assume you're going to speak to the safety aspect of that. I'm curious about that when you say it's going to be a safer
Yes.
layout.
Yeah. So we're going from 2 buildings on the site to 1. The square footage of the building is reduced by some 950 square feet, and the coverage goes from 20.2% to 14.8%. This project needs to go, if it gets approved this evening or whenever a decision is made, needs to go both to planning and zoning and to the architectural review. And I can assure you that when we successfully come out of the approval process, the entire site will be much more handsome than it is now, because quite honestly, it's, with all due respect to my client, it's less than
awful.
aesthetically pleasing. It will be safer in the sense that the pumps are oriented to allow for as many as 6 vehicles to be at those pumps and pumping. It moves the pumps further away from the Boston Post Road and allows for better circulation.
Can you just give us some stats on that? Is the distance now of the pumps from the property line? And I see that you're going to about 26 plus feet. So what is that difference?
Right now, the pumps are, my name is Nadeem, I'm the applicant. And right now, actually the pumps are pushing back. The reason we have a preliminary discussion with the town, they are clustered to push the building back. So that way the pumps can go a little more back and it can be more conforming. So basically, pumps are pushing back at least another 8-9 feet.
So do you have the actual dimension now of how many feet it is from the post road or no? Yeah, I see.
24 feet on the proposal.
No, I mean, that's not from the property line, that's from, you have a little
from
like
the-
landscaping thing there. But I can see generally based on that what it is, but I guess the point is it's an extra 8 feet back, whatever
That's
the
right.
number is,
So
so.
it's just moving back, so that way
It's
there is no issue. And there's a more safely manner.
Okay.
And how close are they to Sedgwick?
Right, they're gonna get closer to Sedgwick, I
23.2
presume.
feet versus, yeah. And Nadine, one of the things we don't see, like, usually we request like a traffic study or something. Would you consider a curb cut on Sedgwick? I mean, I may be getting a little ahead of us, but have you ever gone through that intersection during peak time when traffic goes coming out of Starbucks and kids are coming through for school? It is not a great,
Well, there is a curb cut from Sedgwick into the,
there is, and you pull right out into the traffic light. And then you sit there. So is that something you're considering? Doing like a higher curb cut, maybe closer to the Frontier
I'll be
building?
honest with you, the way I visit the site and I've been observed it, it is, those curb cut can be easily maneuver all the customer to in and out.
The way it is, with existing.
Right now, the way it is.
if you flip that over to the other one, flip it over to the other
No,
one.
this is only existing, everything is all the existing.
No, I know,
curb cut.
That's, yeah.
but this is the new. And they've really changed all the, like, look at the highlight in the green on Sedgwick at the bottom and the top.
You think
Those
that's
are-
better?
Yeah, I do. I think reorienting the pumps is the,
Is the
when I first very quickly looked at this, I was like, way too close to Sedgwick,
The
but they've
way right now is very
reoriented them now.
unsafe
It's
manner.
much different, but not deliberating.
That's why we make that dive in so that people can in and out. It's better traffic flow, it's much safety, and top of that is more ADA compliance.
Well, would planning and zoning and/or ARB require a traffic study as
They might.
part of their,
Prior-
P&Z said.
Prior to tonight's meeting, I had a discussion with my client and advised them that at P&Z, The traffic issues are likely to be discussed, and we should get a traffic study.
Will you remove the boats that are 30 years old in the backyard as part of this plan?
No, you can talk if you want to come up. You got to come up and give us your
Please,
name. I know you
please.
don't want to, but you have
My name is
to.
Mark Project. The boat's supposedly sold.
Oh, okay.
Everything is supposed to be
I'll
gone.
believe it when I see it.
What about all the cool trucks that sit
It's
out
all-
front?
all
Oh,
gone.
they're all
The
gone.
for sale signs that were concerned, all gone. Everything is going to be out there. And I knew that was a concern, obviously, before.
So that green part in the back is not gonna be used for storage and
No, absolutely not.
anything else? It's
No.
just open space, green.
And we'd be happy to make that a condition.
You will see a new gateway to Darien, I promise you. When you come in to cut the ribbon, and we have that, whatever we are telling you is going to be stand exactly same words. And we did spoke to one of that, the traffic engineer. He basically looked the plan, and he's just like suggest us leave everything the way right now is going. But if something like, Michael said, if you guys wish, we can have something in writing, some detailed discussion as well.
Okay.
Our intentions are have this thing as safe as possible. When you see it, I can literally see your eyes. I've been checked the way it is, very unsafe condition, the way it is. The way that tenant is gone, trust me, this whole mess is gone, you will see the new world over
I'd
here.
love to have you sell it to Starbucks so they could just make a drive-through there. That Starbucks is a nightmare. But
How many parking spots are there now there?
That are actually aligned.
I don't think you can count
I
that.
don't.
I would say
Six, eight,
we're
maybe.
probably at, no, I would say 12 to 14.
So you're required to
Going
have,
the whole way down that side, absolutely. Never mind what's in behind the property as well.
so you're required to have one handicap space
That's right.
as part of the 14. Okay, and you're going to meet that and have 16 total in the proposal, okay? I think all that's
But
going to.
how many are required? There's a lot more required.
14 required,
right?
no, 14.
14.
For that square footage.
There was originally, there was a note in one of the, I think, the agenda item that said 28 were required.
Yeah, that's
but-
what I'm reading.
But the
Oh,
parking
that's not-
requirement is
Okay.
1 for every 2,000.
Okay, so
Or
it's
200.
10 in lieu of 14.
And in front of the building, and what they're claiming
No,
is
yeah.
the spaces at the fuel pumps should count toward that.
With the parking.
That's
So
extra
do the-
parking.
Is
Do
that,
the
do we
spaces
accept,
at the
is that,
fuel
is that
pump-
acceptable per our regulations or no?
No, normally it's
So
what's
it's-
the parking for the building.
So we have 10 parking spaces at the building.
Right.
And 6 at the pumps. And we're required to have 14.
Right.
Okay, so to sum up what we're doing, we're reducing coverage from 20%, 20.2 to 14.8. You are making it safer with
Yeah.
better circulation, wider openings in and out.
Yes,
Pumps are moving back
yes,
roughly 9 feet. The border in the back is going from a 2 feet buffer to 15 feet.
yes,
The canopy is doubling, you could argue for safety, there's more coverage.
yes,
Okay, the 3 pumps are staying 3 pumps, but they're laid out in a safer layout. And then you said there's a coverage reduction. The coverage reduction, I missed that number.
From 20.2% to 14.8%.
Oh, that was the coverage,
Yes.
okay. Okay, so all around, this is an improvement. Is there any way that this is not an improvement?
Top of that, I request you, it would be ADA compliance. Right now, there is no ADA compliance. The biggest thing is our concern is should be ADA compliance. That's the whole purpose of
ADA compliance, okay, got it.
Is the canopy, I don't know where I heard this, but the canopy allows you for self-serve gas? If you don't have a canopy, you have to pump the gas for the customer because of the fire suppression, or is that just something I made up?
Fire suppression.
no, you can have self-pumping without a canopy.
Without a canopy?
And the canopy really benefits the consumer, the residents of Darien. When it's raining, they're
Yeah.
protected.
No,
It's just purely customer service, like, you come in a pouring rain, you never come to the gas station. If it is a snowfall, like a nice lady with a hairstyle, she never come to the place, very simple.
Are you going to sell hot dogs in the convenience store?
There will not be a hot dog roller in the convenience store.
It does look like there's gonna be cooking there, though.
Theoretically, we would like to put food service in, yes, absolutely. But there's normally concerns of the rollers, there
not our
will not be
purview.
That's not our purview.
We can't
rollers
decide.
or
How about-
taco,
how
not the
about-
rollers.
How about selling newspapers, because nobody at that end.
There will be, newspapers.
All right, it's 9:30. All right, this is good.
I'm good, I'm good.
Anybody else here?
I'm good.
Everybody good?
Can we
We're
just
good?
confirm, Mark, what's your last name? and-
Krauchick,
Pardon me?
Krauchick,
Spell it for us real quick.
KRAUCHICK.
And your involvement is what?
I'm the general manager of Standard Petroleum.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard on this application? Do you want to say something? Okay. You look like you're with them.
I am with them.
Okay.
My name is Mike Salone, and I am Vice President of Standard Petroleum, and we are overseeing and hopefully getting this passed. So we are closing the station. I will say we are closing the station at the end of July. So we are looking to move forward.
Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Sorry it took so long to get to you guys tonight. Okay.
No problem.
Anything else? Sir, you're good?
No.
Okay. Anybody
Thank
else?
you.
sir? Thanks,
No,
guys.
good.
This officially closes the hearing. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to the last hearing of the night. We'll go quickly here. This is Hollow Tree Ridge Road. Calendar number 20-2025. I'm going to say it wrong. I apologize. Swerdnicki? Thank you. Close. For 13 Hollow Tree Ridge Road, to allow the construction of a replacement two-story house with the conversion of part of the existing house to a deck. Oh my gosh, we have 3D scale models. Thank you. Because, no, leave it there. Because the drawings I thought were really confusing, so thank you. This is good. All right, if you can state your name for the record.
Yeah, my name is Adam Arias. I'm with Anam Kirby Engineers. I'm on behalf of the project engineer, who's Keith Warner, but he wasn't able to make it today.
Okay.
I'm here with Edmund as well, and you can introduce yourself.
Edmund Yelder from Michael Bank Architects.
Can you repeat that last one?
Edmund Yelder from Michael Bank Architects, representing Radek Savinsky, the owner of the property.
Got it.
So I'm gonna just go straight to the point.
I love it. Go straight to the point.
It's a small lot, and there's an existing house built 1959. Basically, let me see the picture here. This is a rectangular lot. This is the house, number 13. So the idea is to demo the house, but keep just the 3 walls, like you see here. Use that as a...
This is the future house.
Yes,
This is the new one.
Yeah, this is the new one, exactly. And trying to push back the new house within the setback. So basically a basement, ground, and a second floor. So, in the request that we were submitting to you, there are these, basically because it's a narrow site at 58, and it requires minimum 80. So there's the rule 75%, so we can get by 60 feet, but even with that, we are at 52 width of the lot. That's A. 2, the setback requirement, because of the existing condition, you know, like if you look at the, I'm sure you have this one. This pink area, that's the existing, and it's built a while ago, and it's over the setback. So that we are keeping those 3 wall.
Why are you keeping that though?
The idea was if you demolish it completely, it's not possible to build because it's non-conforming. In discussion with the zoning, because we cannot completely, you need to keep certain percent. You cut down.
No, right. Like that's why people leave like just the chimney when they demolish the house. Really? I mean, no.
It just seems like an awful lot of work. It seems like an awful lot of work for a little deck, right?
Well, the foundation's there.
Yeah, we just have the foundation there existing.
Yeah.
The owner just wanted to reuse what he can use.
Okay.
And just, that's where the bedroom is. They would like to have, maintain that and just put a deck, actually. So they'll be removing the actual stories of the actual house and then bring down that volume to just basically the elevation of where the deck is gonna be.
So that right now is double height. Everything above that new deck is 2 stories?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
So, yeah, in terms of obviously visibility, it's gonna be much less. And as you can see from the site, just imagine just removing that portion from basically the neighbors as well.
They're pushing it back.
Yeah, and you've also reached out to
Yeah,
neighbors on both sides?
We sent out the letter that within 100 feet, I got 2 emails. Edna from number 15, she didn't ask anything, but she's trying to add a deck. She was asking about the setback. I replied to her. The second email, I'm looking forward to see this construction. I got an email from Attorney Steinberg that he lived on number 11. He's the one facing the deck. He said, I'm trying to understand. So I brought the model to him, and he went, showed to his family, came back. He just let me know when the construction gonna start. And
then he hired you to do his house?
Not
All right.
His house is all done and it's beautiful. There, as you see, here's, it's a brand new house.
That's great.
That's the side, right?
Yeah.
That's the most impacted neighbor, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like he would be, like his house is here, and I went and met with him, and that was that.
So the biggest thing I don't like about this is there's that white retaining wall that looks like it's cracked and falling apart and goes like into the street.
Yeah, so
Can we get rid of
I
that?
discussed this with Woody the last time I came here by accident. I wasn't made aware that there was no meeting, but because Keith is the one
Oh, I'm
who's on
sorry.
those. Well, it's okay. I had a great discussion with Woody, and he brought up a lot of these points that, especially with the retaining wall. And so I do want to, I guess, if we can flip it, so you can see it.
Where is that? Where is this?
Sticks into the
So it'd be on the other side, so not this side, but on that side, looking at
It's on the other.
This is.
Yeah, no, but where?
Yeah,
Whose
show him.
driveway is whose in that?
It's here. It's an existing.
So that part exactly is going to be basically right here in
Goes
this,
into
this area is where that photo is.
This over here? Is it this over here?
It's
It's here,
this.
see,
It's that.
this part.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
perfect, thank you.
Yeah,
goes
so
into the
this-
street.
This
It goes-
area,
yeah.
that goes into the right of way, correct.
Yeah.
So that.
So it's a city issue, or it's a town, I mean, it's a,
It would.
Who owns that?
So obviously we have a portion of it, obviously the part that's on our lot is ours, but there is a big chunk where the photo is taken is pretty much mostly in the right of way. So Ed Gentile had also brought that up to us and we had discussions with him. But we do have to, basically, as the engineers, we have to just make the verification to confirm whether the retaining wall can handle. What we're gonna be pretty much doing is we're gonna be filling up on our side pretty much, and pretty much it's gonna be only a 2-foot difference compared to the neighbors. So instead of it retaining the wall on the neighbor's side, it's gonna be retaining our side. So we have to confirm that that 2.5-foot difference is gonna be okay for the existing condition of that wall, if that makes sense.
What's the facing on the neighbor's side?
The facing?
Yeah.
So it's a similar type.
No, but I mean, what, stone on it, or?
No, it's just
white
concrete?
It's just white, yeah, the stucco that they have on top of it.
That's what's there now?
Yeah, exactly, whatever it is. We're
There's
not
something
planning.
nice
to
right
With this picture, can you show me which side is your side and which side is the
Our
neighbor's
side is where the photo was taken. So where the truck
this-
is.
the truck is the neighbors.
Correct, yep. So we'll be filling all
You're
of
gonna
that
go,
up.
you're gonna be higher than them now?
We're gonna be higher as the lower you get. So in this area, you're gonna get basically 2 foot higher. There's a wherever the 108 grade is, where we're proposing, that's gonna be at 106 for the neighbors, and then it's gonna go from there down at the same elevation. So 2.5 feet was the max difference that you can see in there.
What he's talking about is they're gonna fill down the existing driveway up against the wall. But out near the street, in the town right away,
That's gonna be
You're not
pretty
proposing to
much.
change the grade there, right?
Yeah, we're not changing anything over there. We basically start on our lot, which is gonna be a little bit past where the truck in that photo is. And it's gonna be basically matching, we're basically putting fill right up against to the top of it, so it's gonna be acting as, it's not gonna be retaining any sort of, soil.
Does that make sense? In the right of way, you're
More
not
so.
changing the
Yeah.
grade, right?
Yeah,
It
we're
makes
not
more
changing the
sense,
grade
yes.
at all. That right of way, the retaining wall that's there is gonna remain there unless, obviously, in discussions with, Public Works, they decide like, hey, like, we want you to do something there, but that's not in our proposal for now.
Okay.
Whose retaining wall is it? Is it the town's or the yours?
Well- It's yours until it goes into that, until
Exactly.
it crosses
So-
over, and then it's the town's.
Yeah,
That
so
part's
where the
town's.
line is basically, where that photo is, that section of the wall was pretty much the town's.
Yeah.
Everything behind that into
Is
our
yours.
lot is ours.
It was built by the previous owners when they built the house, but it extended way out to the town property.
Oh, I see.
Correct.
The proper thing probably is to have a condition, if you're comfortable with the project, to have Public Works
I would like
review
that.
and approve whatever work has to be done.
Sounds like you're already
Stick.
talking to Ed too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Stick with the town.
Can you just show me on that model where the streets are? Because I'm a little,
The street is here.
that's,
Hollow tree.
oh, okay, so this is Hollow Tree here.
Right.
And the
Love it.
driveway into the property is
Make it a
right off of
requirement.
Hollow Tree.
Come with a 3D model.
And then those are both on either side of the property that is terraced.
So we come in
Yeah.
here and here to this, then 7 Avenue, which is on the side.
Okay, all right.
And, excuse me, the variance you were requesting is for, show us what on the model?
The first one is for the lot width.
Yeah, that we got.
And then the second one
Just
is
because of the
to
existing condition.
maintain the non-conformity for that.
Is that deck right here?
Yes.
That's the only thing that,
Yes.
aside from the lot width and building at all on it, the only thing is that existing deck that you want to leave in the setback.
Exactly. We're not adding anything. We actually moved a little bit more from the non-conformity with an previous existing wood deck, but it's only about 50 square feet. It's not much difference, but it's something, I guess.
And what is the total square footage of the house, excluding the garage, that you're going to build, roughly?
I think it's roughly 2,000.
The
2,000.
existing one, the new one?
No, the new
The
one.
new one.
The new one is 4,884 minus 520.
So 4,300-ish?
But that's, are you
I can get you the
including,
exact-
is
Yeah,
that
that's good.
for every single, that's, yeah, that's including all of that. So
that's all
the
as of
surface,
right,
for just the
right?
surface, is only 2,000.
Well, it's not as of right, because the lot is too narrow, but it's
Oh,
all
I see
in
what
the
you're saying.
buildable area,
Yes.
Right,
except for this
buildable.
deck that's going to
Gotcha.
remain.
Nice. Okay. Anything else we should know?
Appreciate your decision, that's all.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to be heard on this application? Does anybody want to come up and study this 3D model? It's really cool. That's how you do it. It's old school. I love that. Thank you. Sorry we made you wait till the end. We should have rewarded you for bringing that model. All right. Thank you.
But thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, the hearing is now closed. Okay.
You don't have to leave that as a.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay to take.
All right.
There'll be some neighbors gonna come along and complain about it.
Okay, so, why don't we go in reverse since this is fresh in our minds? Let's go backwards.
We'll go back to the elevator architect.
Oh, the elevator architect's still here? Let's start with that. Sorry, elevator architect, we'll start with you. I know, you poor guy.
Checking out the model.
Checking out the model, I know.
Bring a model next time.
Okay, let's go to the elevator architect. Okay, let's go to Cove's End. You wanna start? Elevator?
Sure, I guess. I mean, I guess there was reasonable and sufficient testimony that the site is unusual, and because of certain issues with the owner of the property, it is a hardship to not have an accessible entrance and way to get around the house with just stairs. So, I guess they made a credible enough case that I'm comfortable with it.
The elevator was not like a two-passenger elevator.
Minimal,
It's-
36 by
yeah,
32,
it's
right?
Minimal.
So a bit small.
There's no resident close over there. It's like across the pond or whatever that's called.
Searles, 100 Searles is
It's
like way across
150
the
feet
water.
away. You know, they want to stay in their beautiful house.
Yeah.
And,
It's unusual too. I mean, usually, they're adding things onto the exterior or the outside of the house. This is like the first one we see where it's almost interior to the structure between the garage and the main house too, so.
I agree with that.
oh, where the garage kind of blocks it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like we're putting like extra structure interior to the layout of the.
There's like no impact to the existing house at all.
Right, exactly. Or they're not like adding an extra section.
I think it's a minimal adjustment to fit the elevator in, which is a safety thing for the resident.
Totally agree. The hardship would be the irregular lot, the wetlands, no change to the existing. Any stipulations that we need for this? I wasn't thinking anything.
I think just no, and I think this the staff notes, but no, we don't want like floodlights pointing out towards the. Is that a
Yeah.
concern?
Why would they even put up, I mean, I couldn't even come up with a situation where they put a floodlight,
There.
but I guess,
Yeah, that seems like unrelated to the elevator.
yeah, okay.
We'll send somebody out there with a BB gun.
Okay. We can't say that on the record, Randy. Okay.
I
Okay.
will make a motion to approve as is.
As is, okay.
I'll second.
Matt seconds, all in favor? Passes 5-0. Congratulations, elevator man, you got your project model. All right.
No model.
Next time, come with that model. Jeez. All right.
Good night.
All right, good night. All right, number 2, 65 Hecker. Right? Am I going in the right order?
Well, they continue. They're
sorry.
continued.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
being continued. I think that was a
That
good
was a
move.
good one.
All right, good idea. Okay. What am I on now? Sliminski. Love it. Patricia Lane. Love the neighbor arguments. I don't mind this one if we do something with the drainage. I think that is at the heart of what my concern would be about this one. Randy?
Yeah, I think the drainage is a big, because I know for a fact that the water crosses the road and goes down the driveway across the road.
Yeah. Drainage is an issue on anything in Darien these days, so if you're gonna do construction, I think you've got to consider neighbors and you have to do it. So I would max it out. I like the idea of doubling what Kevin came up with for the calculation, the 330 cubic feet of impervious. I don't know how we write it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the letter from Radius and Mead was not very helpful. I think Wilder did a good job.
I
I said,
didn't
it doesn't
know-
matter, we'll put it in anyways.
Yeah, I didn't know it was helpful
basically
till you
says,
read it.
We
Thank
don't
you.
have to do it, so we're not gonna do it.
Thank God Kevin
I'm not
already
sure
read
I
it,
would have
yeah.
brought that, but look, I think the amount in the setback is 165-ish feet. They're getting rid of another 65 feet. It's very modest. I think the neighbors were very convincing.
But are you convinced there's no other way to do this addition? Because I really was thinking we
you
could push
know,
that thing back a different way. You really
it-
look at the plans and say no?
It's just such a small area that I'm
Yeah,
not.
they
I'm
could.
not.
They could shift
I'm
it
sure they
over,
could.
but-
Yes, there's a way to do it, but I mean,
For 165 feet, you're
And-
like,
and
whatever.
by doing this, they're actually introducing more drainage for their neighbors.
They are.
So, I kind of weigh that.
I like they're getting rid of the shed too, right? I can't believe Wilder conceded this, but he moved the dormer proactively. Who does that? Wilder never does that kind of thing. And then what was the other thing he did? He did
The HVAC is moving into the conforming.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not on the plans though, because that says to remain on the plans, so we got to be specific about
Oh,
that.
I saw on the plans that the HVAC is in a conforming
Well,
location.
it looks like on the plans, it just.
No, there's one on the other side.
Okay, well, we'll just take that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's gotta be noted. But those are 3 improvements and a minimal adjustment.
So step that the shed behind the garage.
Yep.
Removed.
That's tipped, and then the
HVAC equipment is
All the
moved
equipment
to-
conforms.
And
Yeah.
unfinished basement under the addition, right? Because I
Good-
would not,
good catch.
I would not consider putting a finished basement below this the minimal adjustment necessary. So we should keep
Okay.
that as they said it was gonna be storage, let's keep it as storage.
Keep it as storage. Okay, good point.
And that they install Cultex sufficient to address 330 square feet of impervious surface being added, even though they're only adding 165.
Love it.
And just for the record, the hardship is that you couldn't build on this lot. You can't build anything on this lot because it's 58 feet wide, it's undersized, and it needs to be 80 feet. And so if they came before us with a 1,596 square foot house and asked for a variance
We would
to
grant it.
go up to a 2,444 square foot house, we would grant it. So the only question is, should we force them to shift it over a little more? I think in the grand scheme, keeping the seamless side of the house, I think makes sense for a number of reasons.
And
including
we're
the
getting
aesthetics
something in
and
return
otherwise.
for it
Yeah,
too,
right.
quite frankly.
Agreed. And I think the neighbors, I'm most concerned about the neighbors that are immediately impacted by it, but we heard from them. I like that Randy addressed the one that's down. That was important.
I saw that first.
I think they're impacted by the water. They're impacted in their house. This improves it for them.
Yeah.
This is good. It's improvement all around. All right, do we have a motion to pass this?
I'll make a motion.
Matt, okay, as is with
With
the
the
steps
stipulation.
stated, okay?
Oh, second.
Randy seconds, all in favor? Congratulations.
Wow.
Nice job.
Good luck.
And you kept your neighbors happy. That's great. All right, now we're on to Shell Station. All right, super fun. I still think it should become a Starbucks drive-through, but it's not gonna be. It's gonna be a station. All right, so, who wants to start with this one?
I looked at this very quickly, probably this morning on the train ride in, and I was like, this makes no sense to shift all these pumps closer to Sedgwick. And then I looked at it on the train ride out, and they reoriented them, and I think that that is, to me, the best part of this. Obviously, they're pushing the building back, and they're
What?
getting...
Why didn't you change your mind?
No, because if you pull in from Sedgwick, the way that they're oriented right now, you pull in from there, and like if there's one car there, the guy's stuck
I know,
there.
it's awful.
Now you're most likely going to pull in from Boston from the Post Road. I think it's
The circulation much
I
improved.
think look, I think hopefully planning and zoning is going to require some kind of traffic study. I think that they would,
They have
right?
to, because
Would
Well,
they
you might
require
wanna-
it?
I think you
I
should
think we
probably
stipulate, yeah.
stipulate that.
Okay, so
You
then, yeah,
recommend
because I'm not a traffic
comprehensive
engineer,
traffic study.
if somebody tells me you're way off base, then that's fine, but it seems logical to me that it's gonna be better.
The reason I like the traffic study is because if they recommend, for safety, they might recommend a curb cut higher up. That's the only thing.
Or even close the Sedgwick curb cut.
Yeah.
That could be a good idea too, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only
That's
reason
an
I would
awkward
stipulate
place
that, but
I think it would be tough to get from the parking spaces in the convenience store. I bet a lot of people would use this, but whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
just stipulate the traffic study.
because we do not need more traffic at that corner. I mean,
No, I
that's
agree, but
in that building,
Frontier.
no, the other one down the other end
Do you
of,
wanna check out the location of the pumps?
that new condo
Circulation.
building that's being finished down
Oh,
there.
by
That's just
good,
gonna-
now they're not calling it Good Wives,
Yeah,
the
the
new
old
Kings
Old
Kings Highway thing, yeah.
That's just gonna add to the traffic.
But it could improve because like West Avenue, all that traffic gets backed up because the west light is not, the timing's off, so the traffic study could help all that flow. Anyways,
But we're
I
not
think
gonna
we stipulate.
specify that they need a traffic study through all that entire intersection.
No, but I think it'd
are
be,
we?
well,
That's
I think
not-
it'd just be good.
oh, Okay,
All right.
you're the chair.
I think in general, I would like a traffic study on all of downtown Darien, and I want to put it on these guys. No, I think it's just a good idea, just for safety reasons. But, so just to review, like, the improvements, do you want to talk about what you
Yeah,
like about this?
I would just say for the record, I don't think we're discussing here something unique about the property or a hardship. I think what we're talking about is our overarching mission to force properties that are non-compliant towards more compliance and to ensure more safe locations.
Like
And
it.
while in some respects, this property becomes less compliant in terms of the distance of the pumps to Sedgwick and some of the parking location in terms of its proximity to Sedgwick, in my estimation, overall, this site is becoming more compliant with zoning because of the reduction in coverage, because of the reduction in the amount in the rear setback, and because of the size of the non-conforming buildings that are currently in the setback as opposed to what will be in the setback. And the distance of the pumps from the Boston Post Road. So those reductions in nonconformity coupled with what seems to be a more sensible and safe structure and layout is why I would support this. And one thing I would just add is an additional stipulation I think we should add is that the areas to the side and behind the buildings that are there now, which are such eyesores, would be, landscaped and basically green spaces and not, used for storage.
Junkyards.
Yeah.
Agree.
You put it so well.
I love it.
agree with everything you said.
Yeah, and it's ADA compliance, I want to add that in. I think that's a huge bonus.
Right.
Randy, you anything add?
No, I think it's gonna be a big improvement.
I agree.
As long as I get a New York Post at this end of town.
And a hot dog,
Should we
if they consider the hot dog
I
thing.
want a hot dog.
Stipulate that.
I would like to stipulate a hot dog stand. I don't think we can do that.
Slush
Okay.
puppy machine
All right, I will make a motion to approve this.
with those.
With
all
the
those
stipulations
stipulations.
stated, no junkyard, and a traffic study by planning and zoning. Do I have a second?
Sorry, what does the traffic study actually do? I mean,
They will literally study like going in and out, the number of, the peak times the traffic goes in and out. They will optimize safety.
and then if they say, well, we actually think you need to rearrange it, just come back to us, or like, what's? what
They'll
are
do
the
it through
mechanics
planning
there?
and zoning. They'll make a
There
recommendation.
could be something that comes up, such as the geometry of turning in and the location of the pumps is a conflict, and they should adjust something. So there could be a site plan change. It probably wouldn't increase the size of the canopy or the number of pumps, but it could result in less.
And sometimes it's resulted in like a
They have to
traffic
pull it
light.
back a little bit.
Or
close one of the entrances, or widen one, I don't know. But that's typically to make sure these are safe and properly laid out with good engineering. And we get a consultant to do that the applicant pays for. But it's pretty routine for a lot of projects.
Okay.
Not onerous at all.
What do you think?
So Barb made a
Sounds
motion.
reasonable, yes.
Are you gonna make a motion to disagree with me?
No.
Okay.
I'm just curious. Yeah.
I'll second Barb's motion.
All in favor? 5-0. Congratulations, Standard Realty. Good job. All right.
Make sure a little hot dog for you.
Oh, I love that. Okay. Okay, and last, 13 Hollow Tree Ridge Road, the model people. Randy, you want to start with this one? You have anything to say?
No, I think it's, I just don't want to see us get in trouble with the retaining wall again like we did over on Kings Highway
What happened in Kings Highway?
with that guy.
Oh, that was a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of wildlife.
But if the neighbors are okay, I think it's an improvement to the property. It's basically within all the setbacks and everything. It's just that little deck sticking out.
Won't they be required to do one of those, what do you call that plan that we fought about for those two properties? The soil,
Site engineering,
This-
drainage plan.
no,
Well, it needs a
what was the
special
plan that
permit.
we were making the argument that those other properties should have gone and got, but they never did,
Special
and that's,
permit.
Oh, regrading.
yeah,
if you're
I mean,
doing
they'll
it
have
over
to
a
do
certain-
one, they'll
over a
have to
certain
do one of
amount.
those for
As
this,
far as I
right?
can tell, they have too much regrading within 15 feet of each side
Right,
to avoid going to the P and Z Commission for a special permit. It
so
hasn't
they
been
are gonna have to
fixed
go.
yet, but it looks like they're gonna have to go to the P and Z Commission.
Okay. So,
And you can recommend
that
that.
was the difference there, is that those
Yeah,
people
they
got away
never-
with not even going to get it.
So what are you saying? What we can recommend it? We can make it a
You can always
stipulation.
recommend that the grading be looked at carefully by the P and Z Commission, including the retaining wall and what's.
If
going on.
required, I don't wanna make them do it if they're not required to do it, whether it sounds like you're pretty sure they're required to do it, but.
Yeah, there's 2 to 6 feet of fill on the left-hand side of the property going down that slope up against the big wall.
Okay.
They had depicted, I think it's 2 to 4 feet on the other side, so I think it's a given, like we had in those other projects. But
But I
you
feel like
might
the
wanna
other
say
projects
something about
didn't
the
do it.
retaining
They
wall.
didn't do it.
They didn't go do it.
Yeah,
Somehow
so I
they
think
got
it
away.
should be. I
So
think
where
we
was
should
the
put it on record.
breakdown there that led us to not ever having them go get it? Somebody, the building department issued a perp, or whatever, we don't
It
have to
wasn't
get
even
into
us, it was just, they
P&Z
did
dropped
it
the ball.
and someone objected.
Oh, right, because they didn't even come
Yeah,
for
they
variance to
didn't.
start.
Right. They built,
They submitted plans.
and then some,
and
and
included
then
some
Nobody
things
flagged it.
that weren't noticed.
So maybe we just make a special note that that is,
If it's required.
if it's required, I mean, we shouldn't have to say that. I agree, Kevin's right. We shouldn't have to say any of that. But,
Well,
So-
they wouldn't get a building permit without proper engineering in that retaining wall, would they?
no, but
Well, they did.
they did in these other
happened.
circumstances. Or they went ahead and did it without the
But they
building
did it
permit.
differently than
And
what
sought
they said they
forgiveness,
were
not
gonna do.
permission, yeah. Yeah, okay, well,
So if they need a P and Z application, they should do that. And then anything about what we did on Sedgwick Avenue, which had an issue with encroachment in the Sedgwick Avenue right-of-way of a sidewalk and a wall.
we said they have to work with,
Stipulation that basically said they needed to repair, reconstruct, remove whatever encroachment that was in the right-of-way to the satisfaction of the Public Works Director. So you could do similar here, but they have to get the Public Works Director's approval for this new driveway and any work that has to be done to stabilize that retaining wall and that slope.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, makes sense.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
And just for the record, I think we find a hardship here because you can't build anything on the site because it's only 52 feet wide and you're required an 80-foot wide lot. So clearly there's a hardship, and with those stipulations, allowing this small deck to remain does seem like a minimum adjustment.
And I would add also for the record, they're reducing nonconformities with an existing deck on the back and taking this section where they want to keep down from a 2-story building down to just a deck.
Right, yeah.
I agree. And I want to note that he built that model. I know, it's 10
there's
o'clock.
Some interest, they apparently approached the most affected neighbor on the left.
Yeah.
They didn't submit anything that approves, but they didn't object either, so the deck is gonna be closer to that neighbor that apparently reviewed and is okay.
Great.
Well, that neighbor has a little deck instead of a 2-story house there.
I know.
So
That's right.
I think it's,
All right. Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with all the stipulations that Woody is frantically writing down over there.
I will second. All in favor? Congratulations, well done.
Thank you so much.
It's great.
For the record, the zoning department is incredible. Very helpful.
Good, Woody, good job.
Woody.
It helps us immensely if you come prepared, it really does. Thank you. You did a nice job.
Thank you all of you for your patience.
How long, pardon me, how long did it take to make the model? How long did it take to make the model?
It was 3 days.
3 days?
It was,
It's not just a 3D printer?
no, it's just
No.
handmade.
Oh, wow.
What is it made of?
We'll try just the foam board and
An X-Acto knife.
foam board and chipboard. We're trying to
Chipboard,
reflect- Yeah. See the white one?
I hope you save that. I hope you don't throw it out, do you?
No.
Oh, it's really
Those are the
cool.
glass case.
Very helpful.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, sorry to keep you so long tonight. Yeah, you guys did great.
That's making the most of that lot.
Yes, it is, it really is. Super cool, thank you.
We don't meet until September again.
Okay, right.
Right.
Can we,
Other
look at a
business
couple
re-
things
Yeah,
for
real quick, you guys.
10 minutes or so?
Yeah, requested 6-month extension for Emmanuel Hammond, 17 Searles
Yeah,
Road.
this is the complex one, the Nick DeMayo, they got a denial initially, too big, too close, with the wing over the
He came
garage.
back a second time with a much
Revised
better
it,
design.
lowered it
Yep.
down.
Yeah.
Is this a first extension?
Yes.
Oh, that's the right question, is it? Okay.
Motion to approve I don't, do we have to do that?
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, we
Motion
do.
to approve 6-month extension.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm in favor, yep, all in favor.
They have a lot of complications with
Okay.
P&Z Commission flood zone.
The election of the officers by regular members, this is our slate. Do we need to put the slate in front of everybody?
Well, the 4 of you guys get to decide who voices your chairmanship. We try to do it each in June or July for the next year, supposedly. So.
Wait, so we're
we've had-
deciding now who the chairs are?
Yeah, each year you're supposed to elect a new chair and vice chair. You can
For
do the
for
same.
2026?
Basically from, right, July.
Oh, it's July.
26th through next June.
But isn't that a little awkward, given that I'm sitting here and Kevin and I are sitting here? We're like gonna elect
I
ourselves?
I vote for Barb and Kevin again.
I'll second that.
Okay,
All right, but
seconded.
doesn't, Kevin might wanna trump me. Kevin,
No,
don't you
no,
wanna take
I'm
over?
Kevin.
Nice
Kevin,
try.
No, I'm good.
Okay, I will keep doing it. Seems like you people enjoy this, okay? Thank you.
Please keep
All right,
doing
that's
it.
great, okay. Approval of the minutes
I'll
of
Wait, we
consider
gotta vote on
that
this,
a 2-0, or
Oh, okay.
No, but we're,
Kevin could vote to approve Barb as chair.
yeah, but I
Barb
vote
could
against
to
myself.
approve-
No, you're not.
No, not really.
Okay, so you
but
vote,
we're all voting yes on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I'm
I
staying
am.
as chair?
Yes, keep it all the
Okay,
same.
and
If you're
then
comfortable with that, please.
I'm comfortable with that, and then
Carry on, that's
keeping
all we
Kevin
got.
as you're good with that?
Sure. yeah.
Thank you. I need you,
Alright.
please. Thank you.
2026 meeting schedule, I laid a copy of it on the table for you.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
see that. That's good.
I think
The
we
only
all said
thing
yes.
is February 18th is Darien school break.
Oh.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so that one will be, maybe not tough for everybody, but be tough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be not.
Right,
I
man.
will not be-
Yeah, I will most likely be away. That's a
Yeah.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now that we have an expanded board, maybe that's not.
It's not a big
Yeah,
deal,
it's
yeah.
still gonna be an issue.
Yeah, Darien break is 16 to 20.
And that 18th is a Wednesday, right?
The 18th
Yeah,
is a
I will-
Wednesday.
I will-
Wednesdays.
yeah, that's a no-go.
And
Let's switch
actually,
that.
in fact, it's through the next Monday too, the 23rd. For
We should probably
professional
go
day.
with the 25th, February 25th, right?
All right.
Wait, are we,
Following week.
February 25th is a regular.
we just always do 2 meetings a month now?
Yeah, what happened, what is this 2 meetings a month situation?
Well, we've always had that for years and years. Rarely did we use them in the last 10. But when I first came here, we had about 110 applications a year. So we were handling 10 or so a month.
No, I think you're doing a good job of clearing our docket. Let's get down to 1 a month. That's a lot.
So change
Yeah, February
18th, February
18th to
25th.
25th, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try. I mean, if we can condense it, I'll work with him to get him down to once a month. We can do
I'm
it.
curious,
Yeah.
I didn't realize, I didn't realize.
Wednesday.
I'd
So,
quite
okay.
honestly
Yeah,
rather
Wednesday's-
stay here till 10:30 one night.
You would, then do 2?
Than do
Yeah.
2
Okay,
meetings.
all right.
My night's already, if you leave here at 9:30 versus 10:30.
All right.
The night's already done.
Okay, good.
So,
Good point.
if that means.
What's
anything.
next?
Can we have a motion to approve with the adjustment in February?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Woody. And then, what was the next thing?
Minutes. Minutes.
Oh, yeah, the minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've seen both minutes. Yeah, you're right.
No, May 5th we haven't done. May 5th, we're trying to do the artificial intelligence. It's almost
Try to do
comical.
AI?
Yeah.
Is it,
How?
Is it
With the
good?
record, with the
DD
recording?
79
Yeah.
swears we could avoid lots of things. Have AI
Sounds like it
just
could be
simplify
trouble.
the summary of what we did. Problem is, AI can't identify who's speaking.
Yeah, of course.
But they can get the general gist. It's amazing.
Wait, should I,
So we're
should
still
I
working with that?
close this meeting? We're on 79, aren't we?
Wait, are we
Yeah, we're
doing,
still on.
but are we doing the
But
June
June
2nd?
2, yeah, that's recent. We only had the one on Anthony Lane, so that's pretty simple. So let's do that one.
Okay, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Okay,
Okay.
good idea.
Any other things I guess we can work on? One of the things that came up again with this meeting and this week was instructions to neighbors. The lady that was next door to
Say they found out too late and they didn't understand, so, sure, I don't know if someone if AI wants to suggest a cover letter that could go.
Well, I've definitely
with
said in the past, finding if we didn't get these links and these agendas, I would have no idea where to find all this information.
Yeah, agreed.
And in fact, I have to go find the email, pull the agenda again to go back and get something.
That's
So,
one of the things that we should probably inform neighbors. You may want to go onto
Yeah,
the
right.
website.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wanna Check
yeah,
carefully.
totally.
If you're across the street, it may not matter at all.
Yeah.
But if you got a letter that informed you of this,
I like that idea.
I agree, a cover letter makes
You've
sense.
got to give them a pretty clear link to the website though, because if
we had
you're not-
the gentleman on
it's
Plymouth
kinda
Road
hard to
that was
find.
It's really
bothered
hard,
to find
Randy.
out about the swimming pool and the
Oh, yeah,
acquisition.
yeah,
I was surprised to find out that his rights were being affected by this and was upset. And he also mentioned that he had to find out for himself what was going on and maybe we should inform people a little better.
But he got it, well.
He eventually was
yeah,
able to speak up quite well, but.
Yeah, but he would have gotten the whole packet with all the information.
No. All they mail to neighbors is the time and place of this meeting. We make them send a legal notice, and they have to identify the time and place, but that's all. Plans are not sent to neighbors.
Yeah,
I don't,
assuming we
is that
can
true?
under
I
zoning.
remember having to send all the plans, the item K, everything to
Item
all
K,
my
yes.
neighbors when I did it.
Item K, but not the plans.
Huh.
We might want to change that.
Yeah, I would be
Assuming
okay.
we
I would be
can,
okay
yeah.
with
We have
that,
the
yeah.
opportunity
Well,
to
are we
point
gonna-
out where they are.
Are we gonna
Just a
make people
link.
print out all the plans, or are we gonna do a link?
If there's a link.
The link would be.
Yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
do a link, whatever.
One of the things that maybe the applicant should have to do is inform the neighbors of how they can get to and find this.
But I
Well,
think
it would
we're
be in
saying
the,
the
co-
cover
it would be in
letter.
that cover
Cover
letter,
letter.
right?
Yes.
We're not gonna make them go to everybody's door,
No,
right?
no, no.
We should have a form cover letter.
But we can work on it over the summer and see what we can come up with.
I like that. That's a good idea. Transparency.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, good enough.
Alrighty,
Okay, so, wait, it's 10:15.
Motion to close the meeting.
I seconded.
Um,
All right, nice work, guys, nice work.